Yeah. Whoa. I speak. We change lives, Jesus. I speak.
Welcome to the TP Masterclass. On behalf of Cliff Cheqona and the entire TP family, we're honored to have you here. You didn't just join a live session. You stepped into a transformational experience designed to help you master your mind, align your emotions, and trade with clarity and conviction. We'll be starting shortly. In the meantime, settle in and prepare your notepad. Like the stream, subscribe if you haven't already. And most importantly, invite someone who needs this. Because around here, we don't just trade, we transform. Let's get started soon.
I speak life, I speak spirit, we change lives, Jesus did it. I speak life, I speak spirit, we change lives, Jesus did it. Step into my Monday, I'm stepping to my Monday, I'm stepping to my Monday. We change lives, Jesus did it. I'm stepping to my Monday, I'm stepping to my Monday, I'm stepping to my Monday. We change lives, Jesus.
What is the TP family, and how do you become part of it? Don't worry, if you're watching this, you're already part of the TP family. Now, before you ask, no, it's not take profit. That's the first thing traders think, right? TP stands for Trading Psychology. When Cliff Cheqona created this community, he didn't want to make it all about himself. He wanted to create a space for traders built around a simple truth. Most traders lose because their mindset isn't ready for success. So what's the TP family? It's not a company. It's not an organization. It's a movement of traders who are done chasing shortcuts, done trading emotionally, and done feeling like they're alone in this journey. Now, let me be clear. We're not here to build another Telegram or Discord group. You don't need more chats or endless notifications. All you have to do is follow our content on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. That's where we deliver everything. Masterclasses, podcast clips, mindset tips, and even those hard truths no one else will tell you about trading. Our vision for 2025 is simple: education. We teach traders what really matters, not just strategies, but the mindset behind them. Through our TP Masterclass, podcasts, and content, we make sure traders know how to manage themselves first. Community. The TP family is all about connection, but instead of chat rooms, we meet through meaningful content that actually helps you grow. Tools. We're creating journals, simulations, and practical resources to help you track your progress and improve your trading behavior. The TP family is here to change the way traders think forever. We're not about quick wins. We're about creating strong, resilient, unstoppable traders. Welcome to the movement. Let's make 2025 the year you fix your mind and fix your trading.
It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind.
Hi TP family, and welcome to another TP Masterclass. How is everyone doing? How was last week TP Masterclass for you? What did you learn? What did you take from it? Let me know in the chat session. How's everyone doing, TV family? Well, I hope everyone is fine. I'm Tennis and Shells, as most of you already know. And I just want to start off by saying thank you to everyone for always joining the TP Masterclass on YouTube Live. Today, we decided to stream across some of the platforms that we are on, such as Facebook and Instagram, and also YouTube. So if you are tuning in from Instagram, hello, welcome. If you are tuning in from Facebook, hi. I hope you enjoy your stay here. If you didn't know about TP Masterclass, we've been doing this for since the beginning of this year, and today is no different. So I really hope you enjoy your session today. We have some few first timers in the live chat. Thank you for joining us, joining the TP Masterclass live right now. Oh, we are always live 6 p.m. UK time every Saturday. We have John who is joining us for the first time. Hi, I hope you will enjoy your stay with us. And we also have Blessing. This is my first time with TP family. I'm so excited. I am also excited for you. Oh, someone also answered my previous question. He said, I learned that trading psychology is beyond abstract and it has to become your habit. Exactly. But wherever you're tuning in from, just put it in the live chat and let me know. If you're tuning in from Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, Uganda, US, UK, thank you for always tuning in with us every Saturday at 6 p.m. UK time. And if you're also watching the replay, just put replay in the comments so that we will know that you are here with us. We have some few Nigerians in the live chat right now. Hello, guys. And if this is your first time joining us, as I've already welcomed some of the first timers, thank you for joining us. And this is not just a class, this is a family, and we are glad that you find us. Wherever you are tuning in from, whether Facebook or Instagram, just put first time here. I can only see the comments from YouTube for now, so I cannot see Instagram and Facebook. But if you're putting first time, thank you for joining us. And because you're also new here and you're wondering where to begin, don't worry, we have set it out for you. Go to our YouTube channel and you'll see a playlist with all the previous TP Masterclass on there. Let me just bring it up on the screen. This is where you begin. You will see season 1 TP Masterclass, and you should look for the video that says what is really trading psychology. This episode will really help you understand why we are doing this and what this community is really about. As we don't just talk about charts, we deal with the mindset behind the trades. And also from Monday to Friday, we post what we call the TP declaration. It has some few words on it where once you see it, we mostly post it on YouTube and we also post it on Instagram. So if you're tuning in from Facebook, you will see it on our stories from Monday to Friday every morning, most of the time. Once you see it, do not scroll past it. Make sure that you actually read it out loud. This is how it usually looks like. It will have some few instructions on there, and then you just have to speak it over your day before you go to trade for the day. Okay, so never skip it, always participate and speak it over your day before you start trading, especially if you're a trader, if you're a day trader even. Okay, so yeah, so these are just declaration. It's not just quotes, they are tools for your alignment. And another thing is, wherever you are right now, whether you're tuning in from Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, I want you to make sure that you have removed every distraction from your environment, because I would really love for you to give us your 100% attention for the next few hours so that you get to learn something, you get to take something with you, and you are not just watching us and not taking part in what we are doing. So make sure that you grab your notebook, your journal, and make sure that you take notes. Okay, whether a pen or a pencil or a marker, just grab something to take notes with. It can be your phone, can go into your notepad on your phone. It can be apps that you take notes with, something like anything, your notebook or your journal. Just pick it up and just go ahead and take notes and participate, because you never know, we could say something, we could say something on this live today that could change your life, and you would wish that you had written it down. So make sure that you grab your notes and remove every distraction with you and give us your 100% attention. Now, one serious note that we have maintained for the past few months is that we built this space for healing, clarity, and the truth when it comes to trading psychology and habit formation, edge in trading, and what really goes on the market. So we need to protect this space. It's not anything personal. We just want to make sure that you respect the atmosphere, protect this space, and do not leave comments that will go against what we are trying to build here. So be respectful of this environment and also respect yourself. Without any further talking, I'm just going to hand over the session to the next segment. So stay tuned for that, and I'll be right back as well. Thank you, everyone, and stay tuned.
It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading.
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon and good evening from wherever you are from. It is great to be back. And to everyone that remembers the last session that I had with you, let's see some ones in the chat. Very happy to be back with my good friend and colleague here, Mr. Albert. Mr.
Hello,
Albert.
hello, everyone. TP family. How are we doing? I know everyone is doing great and everyone is happy to be in here, Nave.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And Albert, if you would like to give a little bit of an introduction on yourself, I'm sure the TP class would very much appreciate it.
All right, Nave. I'm Albert Asante, and I've been in this field for a couple of years now. And as a trader, is up and down, but always remember discipline, respect, and proper risk management will keep you to survive. So that is about me, and it's all about TP Masterclass today. So let's hit it.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get right into our segment. We will be looking at what actually happened in the market this past week. Very exciting week, as we left off previous session noting that this is the first week of a not just a new month and any new month, but of a new quarter. So we understand that this is a very important week for big institutions and big players in the market, i.e., banks, financial institutions, multinational companies, etc., etc. So, Albert, what did you think about the US market this week, as we noted that this was a week of massive releases of very important data, such as the NFP data this Friday?
Indeed, Nave. Before we go on, please, everyone, you should know this. Whatever you're about to hear is not a financial advice nor a trading strategy recommendation, but this is a segment purely for educational purposes, and it's for you to understand the biases in the market and how you can develop your own strategy coming this week. So according to the NFP release, it was really surprising, Nave. If you were here and you don't know what NFP means, it's the non-farm employment change, and it relates to the job creation, which is important leading indicator of consumer spending, which accounts for a majority of overall economic activities. These results released was 22K, which is below the previous result of 7.75K. And this, when we look into the employment rate to be negative 65.5K, which was also released, and it was also beneath the previous ones, which was negative 40.8. And it also indicates that there is a low consumer spending, which actually will affect the economy. And if you look into it, it seems like the overall data or the news which was actually presented was all negative, which is really a shock to the economy. For example, if we go to the unemployment rate, and or we used to call it a jobless rate, it was 7.1%, which was really high than the previous one, which is 6.9%. And this indicate that there is a higher number of unemployed people. So if there are higher unemployed people in the market or in the economy, that means the economy is collapsing. It's not really good for the market. And also the average hourly earnings remains the same, which is really not good for the consumers, because when the business is actually paying more for labor, then it goes straight into the consumers, which affects consumer pay, and it's not really good. And this have a major effect on the market. And as we can see, all the red folders were all red. So talking about that, let's relate it to US 30. Nave, what do you think about US 30 and how the news really affected US 30?
Yeah, it was you're right on with the data. The data releases are very, very crucial and can actually have a huge impact on the market. So let's take let's take a step back from Friday and see how the week began. The week began with a bank holiday. So this Monday was a bank holiday for the United States and for Canada. So we saw very low trading volume and low trading activity, which is quite typical for this type of a holiday. However, the Tuesday to Thursday period was highly volatile with heavy swinging in the US 30 back and forth, quite heavy sell offs and heavy buys as well, staying within a certain range. And this is the number one depiction of indecisiveness and unsureness in the market. So currently, the futures market assigns a 96% probability of a rate cut during the 16th September FOMC meeting. This meeting is held with the federal chair, and this is a person called Jerome Powell, who you all, if you do trade or are interested in trading the US markets, have to get very familiar with, because this man can single handedly move the markets very, very highly. So, not just is there a looming possibility of rate cuts, which is actually very much needed in the US economy. As Albert had mentioned, all the data releases this week have been really poor. They have been showing extreme unemployment levels, they have been showing a diminishing manufacturing industry in the US. There's also, on top of that, a lot of legal uncertainty over tariffs. This is a hot topic right now in the US, is the tariffs that President Trump has been kind of bringing out in different seasons and causing markets to heavily be chaotic. So the tariffs are currently with the Supreme Court, if you do not know, who are still deciding on ruling if the tariffs are actually legally viable or if they are not. And this is a huge, huge deal. So this was quite well mirrored in the markets, where there was a lot of indecisiveness and a lot of swinging in the start of the week. And Albert, if you could help me to show on the screen exactly what the US 30 charts looked like so that our viewers can see kind of exactly what I'm talking about. So continuing on, you can see that the US 30 had some major swings through this week. However, it's important to note that it still remained very bullish. The important part with trading is to try and look at the markets from a short term view and also an eagle's eye, which is the longer term outlook. And as Albert has, thank you for showing, it has remained on a very bullish pattern and it's respecting this trend as well. And not just that, but despite the negative data releases on Friday that Albert highlighted, again, the US 30 hit a record all time high before coming back down. So, why did this happen? Why does the US 30 hit an all time high, even though all the data is signaling towards a rocky economy? The manufacturing industry released data that was heavily bearish. The job openings, again, data that came out on Wednesday, showed that there was a big hit in the US markets where the openings hit 10-month lows. Now, job growth was exceptionally weak, with just 22,000 roles added in August, far below the 75,000 that economists had expected. And unemployment rates rose. So, all of this is negative. Now, why exactly do you think the US 30 still rallied up on that Friday so suddenly and so quickly? Now, this is just speculation, but we do believe that the only way that the Federal Reserve would cut rates and ease the economy that is heavily overheated right now is if the economy is in dire need of it. So, Jerome Powell actually indicated that a cut may be coming very soon because the Friday's data indicated that the US economy is worsening and the labor and unemployment is worsening, which is why, and you have to understand that the US investors and the US players heavily make their moves based on speculation, and it's 100% based on how comfortable they are with the data and what is being indicated here. So, rate cut expectations are there, correct, just as Marcos in the chat has mentioned, that there's an expectation that if there was a rate cut, the economy would be able to restabilize itself much better. And we believe this is why there was a rally up and the creation of a new all time high and a boost. And not just that, but there's more optimism over this. And we are guessing that this spurred a market rally early in the session. And one more thing to note before I hand it back over to Albert is that Broadcom, Broadcom, a massive, massive company that represents Dow Jones, had stellar earnings with a massive surge this week as well, over 13% increase, boosting sentiment in the tech and semiconductor sectors, which also we believe contributed to this massive intraday highs that the Dow Jones achieved. So, Albert, I know that you very closely follow the DXY as well. So it would be great to tie back in to see what exactly is a DXY and what hasn't been doing, and why is it important to the US economy?
Yeah, thank you, Nate. So, as we all know, DSY is the dollar index, and this have a correlation with these major pairs like GBP USD, Euro USD, AUD USD. So basically, if DSY is bullish, XSX USDs are bearish. So they actually correlate. It means if DSY is actually going up, XSUSD are going down. And as the news were released, we could always see that if the news have a major impact on the economy, it actually affects the SY, which is the dollar index. And we could see that the negative results which were released actually had a massive impact on the DSY. Going to the chart, we could see that DSY actually came really down. It sank really down. If you were in the buy, sorry guys, you actually gave the market your money, which is not a good stuff. But if you are in the sell, you actually gain some profit. Right now, the biases that we are looking from next week is we could see that DSY is actually trading between these ranges, which is 98.7 and 97.4. Before we make any attempt, we have to know that price have to break through this support, and then we'll be moving towards 97.1. And if it finally breaks 97.1, that means we should look at DSY moving towards 96.3. But if it's not like that and it actually goes the other way, that means we will be expecting DSY to rally towards the upside, that is 98.7. And if it actually breaks through that resistance, then we will be heading or rocketing towards the moon up around the 100.23. Relating DSY with these major pairs like GBP USD, we could see that GBP USD is also traded in the same scenario. But I want us to go back to the previous days or previous weeks. We could see this massive support or and resistance over here. We can see price is actually testing these support and massive resistance over here on the date of the May 14th. We could see price, basically it was on Monday, the 12th of May. Price came straight to that support, retested it and bounced again. And it came to retest it on 1st August 2005. So that means this support is a massive support that we should take look and careful of. And looking at the resistance too, we could see on the 23rd July, which was Wednesday, price came to this resistance, it pushes down and it actually retested again on the 14th of August 2015, and price was rejected. So what we can see is it's a massive zone over here. So if DSY is going to fall, then we could see that GBP USD is right. And as we all know, on Friday, DSY actually went really down, and USD, that is GBP USD, also rallied up. So we could see that there was bias in control. Right now, it has also tested these zones. So my bias is I'm having a trading zone between that 1.35 and 1.33. So if price actually doesn't break through this massive resistance, then I'll be expecting price to go beneath it until this level of 1.33. But if not, I'll wait until price break through this massive resistance, which is 1.35. Then I will expect price to rally up towards 1.37. The same thing applies to Euro USD. It's the same movement on the NFP time. Price actually went really down, it sunk, and XSUSD actually rocket to the sky. That is why we could see the buyers in control, and we could also see that price is actually testing this resistance. So the bias is if price break through this massive resistance, then we'll be looking towards price to rocket towards the upside. If price is rejected from that zone, then we will be actually heading towards the downside of 1.16. Then if it breaks through, then the next target will be 1.139. Talking about these news influence and effects, Nave, what do you think happens on the German 30 or 40?
Yeah, the JER 30 completely kind of shifting away from the US market and the US sentiment. This is heavily European based data now. So the JER 30 was again in a very bullish run for the past couple of weeks, and we are finally seeing this momentum is starting to slow down a little bit, and there's a bit of a consolidation phase, which essentially means that the market is trading in a bracket per se. And there were two things to note fundamentally, being that Porsche, the car company, and Sartorius had an exit from the JER 30. This was due to the US tariffs, which was reducing their ability to make profits and weakening their demand in China. So they had to downgrade out of this index. This week was notable in summary because there wasn't a dramatic price swing like we observed with the US 30. However, there was a major reshuffling in the sense that the momentum seemed to change and we closed the week near flat. And this kind of indicates a certain level of cautiousness in the investors. And the investor confidence is quite reduced here. And a key factor for this is there's certain unease over expectations of the ECB or the European Central Bank and how they will be approaching rates and rate cuts. So the ECB president, Christine Lagarde, another important name to bear in mind, appeared to downplay the hopes of imminent rate cuts, suggesting that markets may be overestimating the likelihood of some sort of easing monetary policy. So because of this, rate sensitive sectors and which comprise most of the DAX or the German index came under some pressure. So over the next week, looking at what we can expect to see, also based on our technicals on the screen here, you can see that markets were unable to really breach that all-time high area. There was a lot of testing in the upwards direction of that all-time high there, and then consequent downfalls, with a major downfall occurring just before market close. So we are expecting the market to continue to fall down as the market opens and to see some corrections taking place over the next week, as there has been a very, very strong bullish run with the DAX. And thank you, Albert, for helping out. You can see that it is at a bearish trend currently, and we're looking for a continuation of this. And we will be quite cautious entering the market next week. So before you go for any bullish sentiment, to basically look out for absolute technical indicators or a break of structure. Now, someone on the chat, I'm sorry if I say your name incorrectly, but VA has asked the question of how many percent does the news have effect on the market, especially the Forex market? There isn't a specific percentage, and I'm sure that Albert can agree with me on this, that there isn't a percentage of how much the news affects the market. However, a tool that Albert has shown on his screen, the Forex Factory, is a really, really useful tool to kind of see what the expected impact level is of a certain news. So the yellow folders are mild to low impact news, but really you want to focus on the red folders. So the red folders are historically proven to have a major impact in the market and causes quite high volatility and big moves in the market, i.e., it has a huge impact on the market. So to answer your question, Forex Factory would be a great start, and you will start to notice patterns of the types of data and the types of news that has a huge impact. Now, needless to say, massive events, global impacting events, such as major supply chain issues caused by the Russia-Ukraine war and the overall global crisis that was occurring due to that war and the instability, yes, would have a massive impact. Or the impact of President Donald Trump's tariffs that he rolled out earlier this year had a huge impact on the market. So I hope that answers your question there. And before we finish off this session, we would like to bring on a great friend and an amazing trader of ours, Mr. Cheqona, who specializes in the gold market, to kind of have an outlook on the commodities market, particularly gold. And very interesting things happened in that market. So we are very keen to hear from our in-house expert. So if Cheqona is here, he can feel free to join.
Hello, wonderful people out there. Great to see you all. Nev, thanks for bringing me on. The gold market, commodity market specifically, you know that I trade gold out of out of all of that. I chose gold specifically for a reason. Unlike many people who choose different pairs without you necessarily delving deep into why those pairs are moving, I chose gold basically because of specific reasons. And I trade gold off basic criteria. And these criteria, I must tell you, sometimes it does not necessarily give me trades within each single day as a day trader. So then I tag myself as a swing trader one way or the other. The week started off really, really dull when we had the bank holiday. Monday was really, really, more of a consolidation day. But then came in a big rally on Tuesday. I managed to get my good trade for the week on Tuesday. I cashed out on the market on Tuesday. It was a brilliant trade. And then you realize that subsequently Wednesday and then also Friday brought in some very good momentum on the gold market as well. Now, taking you from the micro perspective and bringing you into the macro perspective of the gold market, one of the things that you realize is gold has actually been rallying towards the upside since I could say about 2022, the latter part of 2022, when price was sitting somewhere around $1,600, and now we have price sitting at 3,500 plus US dollars. That tells you how much of a magnitude of percentage that it has moved, over 100% increase within the past 2 years. So the question that usually we ask ourselves is, what could actually be inciting this kind of price rallying in the precious metal? Of course, it's a precious metal, but also one of the things that you cannot miss out on is the fact that it is a safe haven. And therefore, when there are uncertainties all around the world, one of the major pairs that a lot of investors tend to run towards is the gold market. And then one of the factors that actually moves price is demand and supply. So the more the demand relative to the supply available, you realize that price begins to increase. And the less the demand relative to the supply available, you realize that price begins to decrease on every asset actually. But on the gold market specifically, because it's a safe haven, because of the uncertainties, rumors of war, conflict here and there, starting all the way, I can go all the way back as Russian-Ukraine conflict, if you remember that, Nev. We had markets starting to, rally towards the upside, and it has just been back-to-back uncertainties on the market in the past 2 years, which has brought price all the way to this particular level. Now, let's even dive down into the micro perspective. If you can come onto the weekly time frame, thank you so much, Albert, and then open it up a little bit, you realize that the last rally that we had on the market was from April. April rallied all the way to 3,500. And I know this because I've been studying the market. I've been watching it technically, following that price. And that's one of the things that you should do if you're trading a pair. Know the pair inside out. So the price rallied all the way to 3,500, rejected off that area. And then we had a major retracement starting, or I'll call it a ranging market, right? Over the period of April all the way to now, which is just this particular week, we have had price range between that price level and has never broken above that April high that was created until just this past week. So you could actually realize that this week a lot has happened on the chart. I was listening to Nave talk about US 30 and then, DAX. I was listening to Albert talk about, the currency pairs in the. You realize that a lot has gone on. For the gold market, the breakout of the previous high points actually happened within this week, creating a new all-time high. So currently, we have a new all-time high created. And from my chart, where I sit, I'm looking at 3,600 US dollars as the price point that price just tapped into before we are having, some rejection. So now the question is, what exactly should we expect, within the coming week? Do we see more rallies in the market? Or do we see any, retracement beginning to come in the market as well? I have been trading and then sharing ideas with Nave as well. So, Nave, what do you think in the coming week? What do you think we should see? Do you think we are going to be seeing? Do you think we are going to be seeing some pullbacks coming in on the market?
Just for the sake of the technical perspective alone, pullbacks will be coming, but it is a matter of what will happen with the news that's incoming over the next 2 weeks, really, to see will the confidence in the US markets increase, and subsequently will the gold markets ease a little bit. But currently it's doing an amazing bull run. So I am in general always bullish on gold as a long-term outlook as is. But of course, we are here to simply give our predictions based on analysis. Nothing is 100% definite. So I will
Yeah.
close off with that remark.
So it's really great. I usually tell people that market is more about probabilities than certainty. So you can't necessarily say that this exactly is going to happen in the chart. But what you can do is to base on probabilities. And from the look of gold, I cannot necessarily give, like a price tag after hitting 3,600. I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was studying something from Goldman Sachs, and then I realized that they put out a notice, like about months ago, talking about how gold could hit, 4,000 in subsequent months, and based on some good reasons that they gave as well. So I not necessarily based on that, but I am also looking at based on technicals and then the kind of consolidations that we have had in the past 3 months, and then the current breakout that we are having after, the past week. I am looking forward to a continuation run towards the upside. But then again, if we are giving pullbacks, those pullbacks would be a basis for us to join in on the market to rally towards the upside. And if market also confirmed, we as traders, that's why every trader needs to have a confirmation to be able to trade the market. So based on confirmations, if you see yourselves coming in, definitely why not? You can jump in on it. And then if the markets are ready to also continue rallying towards the upside, definitely confirmations are going to be given. Follow your confirmation, follow your strategy, and then move on with that.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Kama. So basically, I want everyone to listen to this again. This segment is not really for a financial advice or a trading strategy recommendation, but it is for educational purposes for you to know the biases in the market and how you can develop your own analysis. Thank you very much for staying tuned, and we are going to hand over to the next episode. Thank you.
It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading.
All right, guys. Just drop some number ones in the chat if you guys are ready for the next segment. I'm pretty sure I am. I'm excited to be with you once again for another week, where we'll basically be talking about the habit. In fact, we're just going to be going over the whole topic and idea of habit formation. But before we do that, I just want to show some love and appreciation to our previous speakers, Albert, Niv, as well as Mr. Kema, for just giving us some insight. It's always a pleasure to have you guys on the session, just simply because, especially somebody like myself, when I started trading about 5 years ago, I never necessarily loved the idea of wanting to learn the fundamentals, but it's just so great at the fact that we can break it down. But I think something key there that I'm going to remind you guys of, especially if you guys are brand new to the area of Forex, of trading, if a lot of the stuff didn't necessarily make sense, go back and listen to the information again. It's very, very important because you're not necessarily going to get it immediately a lot of the time. Now, a lot of you might come from a slightly different background and you might get it. But I know certainly for me in the beginning, fundamentals wasn't necessarily something that made a massive impact, or I didn't think it made much of a difference, but it absolutely does make a huge difference to your trading. So once again, thank you, Niv, for the massive breakdown. Thank you, Albert, as well, for the clarity as well. And Mr. Kema, also the same to you as well. All right. So without further ado, I'll go straight into my segment. You guys already know the game. My name is Will Saromi, for those of you guys that don't know me. And I'm going to start off by saying this. As you guys can clearly see on the screen, it says the best way to predict your future is to create it. All right. The best way to predict your future is to create it. Now, for those of you, I hope that this is not the first time you're seeing it. Now, if it is, then great. I've seen this quote time and time again, and I'll be very honest, I misinterpreted, or at least I thought I misinterpreted all this time. I misinterpreted what this quote actually means, or what in fact it's to do with, right? Oftentimes when we hear this particular quote, the first thing that comes to mind is just a number of different things. Let's just say, for example, some people then decide to expand their goals. They have certain goals, monetary goals. They have a certain type of lifestyle that they desire when it comes to trading. Another example might be that they start to become motivated, but also with a former self. What does that mean? It means that their mind hasn't necessarily been transformed yet, right? So what's a good example of that? Let's just say I maybe I've used this example in the past. January comes, we have this weird culture in the UK called let's lock in, right? You guys, if you're on social media, there's a lot of memes and a lot of jokes of people saying it's time to lock in. It's winter time. I'm now broke. I've gone on holiday. It's now time to save. It's time to lock in. Or what about in January? January, a lot of people decide to subscribe to the gym just for them to stop going after 2 weeks, and then the motivation just begins to phase out, right? So in other words, they approaching life or certain goals or things that they want to achieve with a former self, a mind that is not fully renewed and transformed. And of course, you're going to go back to your former self eventually, and you're going to reap the results 5, 10, 15, 20 years later of the things that you probably didn't want to achieve, right? How about this? You then begin to follow somebody else's process or their program or their system just to see if you can obtain the same level of results. Now, I'm going to say it in this way. There's not anything necessarily too wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with following somebody else's blueprint. But I think what I found an issue with, even for myself when I've done it in the past, is you're not necessarily studying the individual or studying the system, and also studying yourself to figure out how this is going to work for you, or how am I going to redesign this way of thinking to make it work for me. Let's just consistent running. You just grab the runners that you've had probably for the last 10 years, worn out, but you want to follow a blueprint excuse me, of a person that is very well geared up and probably spent over the last maybe 2 to 3 years a couple of thousands of pounds in quality gear to make sure that they're running. They have clubs, they have things that they've gone to, but you're there using the old equipment. Maybe you might have some underlying health conditions you might not be aware of, but you want to follow somebody else's blueprint. That's also potential recipe for not meeting your goals. I'll put it in that way. All right. So when we say the best way to predict your future is to create it, what can we also mean? Right. Another way to think about it is becoming the person that is able to be consistent on a daily basis. And then we focus on the goals later. Everything that I've just said in that last sentence is going to make sense on the next slide. All right. But effectively, it's about the person that you become in order to get the outcome, instead of not focusing on the outcome. I've said this many times before, that you want to become the person that falls to the level of their systems, not to the level of their goals. You don't want to just strive for your goals. We want to find out what that foundation is that's allowing you to become the person that's by default going to obtain the goals in the first place anyway. This is what we are talking about when it comes to the best way to predict your future is to create it. So over here, you can clearly see a diagram. I love to describe this as more of like a bullseye. Okay. When we think about a bullseye, what do we think of? We think of trying to make sure we get the darts, or if you're thinking of it from an archery perspective, have I said that correctly? Archery or archery? Sorry if I've said it completely incorrectly. But anyways, when you have the bow and the arrow, that helps. Everybody knows exactly what that is, I hope. You have the arrow, you're trying to pull it just so that you can hit the target or hit the center, right? Or hit the eye, or however you want to describe it again. All right. So in fact, that's the goal. Sometimes you might hit the exterior. Oftentimes people begin to miss. I want to pause there because I definitely feel like this if you catch the vision or catch what I'm trying to say here, this is exactly like a lot of us when it comes to our goals. In fact, we start off with the outcome of what we're trying to achieve. Just like the bullseye, oftentimes we're going to be missing. We're going to be missing. We're going to try and shoot. There'll be certain times that you hit maybe the circumference of the circle. There'll be often times maybe you might miss. Maybe 1 or 2 times you hit the center. But the majority of the time you're trying to aim for something, but you end up missing. Why? Because we're focused a lot on the outcome or the goals that we're trying to achieve for ourselves. All right? Rather than the process. Now, here's the interesting part. A lot of us also focus on the process. In the previous slide, I also shared that as a third example, somebody might try to steal or take somebody else's blueprint that has worked for them in the past or probably consistently works for them without studying themselves or the type of person that they are. Oftentimes we try to, let's just say, take somebody's mindset in terms of becoming a certain type of trader. I'm sure we've shared this many, many times, if not through myself, but certainly through some of the speakers that we have, such as Kemma and such as Cliff. But sometimes scalping might not be for you, right? Scalping is not for everyone. Maybe swing trading is not for you because you don't necessarily have the patience. Or maybe you want to become a swing trader, but you haven't gotten to that place where you have that level of patience. Does that make sense? So, and then of course we have day trading as well. The whole point and the whole idea is the U factor, which is the most important factor when it comes to this particular diagram. You see, the thing is, when it comes to trading and the mistakes that we make, we think it's all technical, but it's all. You guys can still see my screen, so let me know in the chat. All right, the exact same move. Let's even just go back to the previous segment. Right, every single person saw gold. We saw GBP USD. We saw German 30. We saw the US 30. We saw the charts. Right now, there's no reason why, from a logical or technical perspective, every single person should not be just profiting off of the trades that we saw. It's very clear, right? It should be clear to every single person, but simply because of the perspectives and the different behaviors that we have in the retail space, every single person is going to come out with different results. So then goes the question, okay, well, if trading is so simple, it's so easy, why isn't everybody making money? Well, of course, it's simply because it's to do with the behavior of the individual, the behavior, the characteristics, the personality. And that's why we have to start from within. We've heard this concept in movies, in trainings, in sports. It's you, it's the person within, the hunger, all of this kind of things. But when it comes to trading, every single person has an identity. As retail traders, we have to understand that you have an identity. Okay. In fact, the habits that you have, they control the type of stress that you have, or maybe how you manage stress in particular circumstances. Right? The type of person you are can conduct and dictate how consistent you are. The type of person that you are, the identity that you hold, the value that you have, will then dictate the type of habits that you want to create, the process, which would eventually get you to the outcome. Now, notice the arrows. The arrows that you can see here, I've done this on purpose. So you've got the identity with the arrow pointing within, and then you've got the process with the arrow pointing on the outer circle. And then you've got the outcome, because everything that comes from the identity and the process of your trading will then flow out into the outcomes that you're trying to achieve. They're just simply byproducts of you starting from within, and then the byproducts, which is the success and all the results that you're trying to attain as a retail trader. All right. So let's continue. As a retail trader, you have an identity. You have the ability to choose the identity that you want to have or to adopt, the type of person that you believe you are. Okay. You're always going to act in alignment with who you believe you are. So you should also learn the difference between motivation, which is how you feel, and identity, which is who you are. I've shared with you just now previously that the person that decides that they want to run, or maybe they're in a particular environment, they feel motivated, excited, they're in a particular event. Now they're motivated to go ahead and just go all in because they want to maybe go for a run or they want to go to the gym consistently. But once that motivation dies, they can no longer say that, oh, I'm a gym goer after 2 weeks of just going to the gym, right? What makes the difference between somebody who says that they're an avid gym goer or they love the gym because it's a part of who they are, compared to the person that's just been doing it even for 1 month? You can't necessarily say after a month that this person is a gym goer. In fact, they're not necessarily going to say it. In fact, they'll probably be guilty of saying that I'm a gym goer. Does that make sense? So they'll say that, but they'll say, I'm just trying to go more often. The same way that as a trader, you have an identity that you have to carry, because now you have to now realize this is the very important part. Who you are as an identity shouldn't have to contradict what you do. That's the conviction. That's now the person that you said you are. You now have to match it via your words, followed by your actions. Now, here's the truth. It's also easier said than done, because you might decide, okay, well, I am a consistent trader, but you're not yet consistent. I am a profitable trader, but I'm not yet profitable. I am somebody who exercises patience, but you're in the process of becoming patient. So now, every single time you become hasty with your decisions, I'll give you one mistake that I've made this week, right? Personal testimony. I love to share examples about myself because I want to relate with every single person this week, right? I found myself going on the 1 minute time frame a bit too often for my liking, right? I never trade the 1 minute time frame. Never. It's not what I do, right? And historically, when I've analyzed my setups and my trading specifically for the last year, because that's how long I've been journaling consistently for, every time I go down in the 1 minute, I get results, great results. And then after a certain period of time, it begins to decline. And then I realize it's simply because what Niv said, I didn't do the bird's eye view of what actually was going on in the market. And then I immediately retreat and I figure out where I went wrong and try to rectify it. Okay, so identity. Who you say you are has to match with your actions. And then you begin to ask yourself questions that kind of provoke you to say, okay, well, Willis, if you said you're patient right now in this very moment, is what you're doing, is it going to be patient? Here's another thing that I've even understood as well about trading. When you trade by yourself, it can be very lonely and quite difficult. And you don't also always have the accountability factor, which is vital, right? But even if you can get somebody who's maybe better than you, or even somebody who might be on the same level as you to trade together, you'll be very embarrassed to try and do something in front of them, which will contradict the type of person that you are, or the type of trader, or maybe even the type of setup. You have a setup, it's meant to do A, B, and C. It's done A and B, you take the trade. You've broken your rules. Or it's done A and C, or it's just done A, but you feel like because there's momentum, I want to catch it. I don't want to miss out. If you're in front of somebody, it will be very hard to contradict yourself. We have to act and operate in that very same manner when it comes to our efforts, when it comes to trading as well, right? But just to break this down in terms of this particular diagram, you've got the who, the how, which is the process. So the who is the identity, the how is the process, and then the what effectively is the outcome. This is just an example of one of my identities when it comes to trading. And I've said this previously on the call. I say the call at the session, the masterclass. But I'm a student of the game, or a student of the Forex market, or a student of the financial markets. That's how I see myself. That's my identity. So now, what does that mean? It means I'm constantly in the phase of learning. I'm going to show you a live example on the next slide. But I am somebody who's a student of the game. I'm always analyzing my behaviors, the mistakes. I'm observing my environments and learning from them effectively. But in other words, this is a cycle that will continually exist. Your habits shape your identity, but your identity also shapes your habits. So The question is, okay, what should I change immediately? It's kind of like a cycle where both of them are intertwined. Although, yes, you want to look at your identity first. Once you've identified that I'm this person, I am patient, I am strong, right? This is the reason why we have affirmation. Don't you dare for 1 minute think that these affirmations are a bit funky and fancy and we don't need it there. Absolutely, you definitely need it there. Every single person needs to learn the art and the power of affirmations, of declarations. Why? Because it's teaching you the art of speaking to yourself, thinking positively about yourself. I'm going to share this really quickly, but there's a scripture in the book of Proverbs in the Bible that talks about, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Right? So, in other words, you've already determined the type of person that you are just simply by the words that you speak. So, if the things that are flowing from your mouth are negative, or they're just very loose, you don't even pay attention to what you say or how you act, then really begin to check your heart and identify maybe there's some issues with my identity that I need to fix. Because remember, the trading results that we're trying to achieve, they're not necessarily just, okay, A, B, and C. As easy as it may seem, we wish that that was the case. But we all know it's all to do with behaviors. Even as a hierarchical perspective, from the financial markets to the people at the top to us just as retail traders, it's all to do with what? Behaviors. Right? But let's just give you some examples, right? So example number one, I'm just giving you an example of my trading in August. So this was an example of a trade that I took for the DAX, or the German 30 or German 40. So I shared this with you previously, whereby I've got my mood, how I feel, which is very important. How I feel before the session is vital towards my performance. Because as you can see clearly, that particular day, I was very tired. I approached the market. I did my standard routine, but the most important thing is I was quite tired. Okay, my environment was okay. And as you can see, the mid-market check-in comment was, "Good morning. I'm feeling pretty tired, to be honest, but overall, my mind is calm. I managed to catch a trade with enough momentum to push to the downside, although it hasn't broken the key structure yet. We'll see how it plays out. If price keeps struggling, then I might cut my losses short. And yeah, blah, blah, blah. From there, I might consider exiting or cut my losses short." Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. Right. Now, in this particular session, I took one break even. So what I usually do once it hits a particular area, I begin to just break even. And if it reverses and it goes to my stop loss, which is at break even, then I'm done for the day. I've restricted myself to just 2 trades per session, no matter the outcome. And then the following trade was a loss. Okay. Now, I'm sharing this with you guys just as an example. If you can clearly see, and if we were to probably look at a bird's eye view perspective, even just from this image on the right hand side alone, there's not necessarily more of an extension, right? In fact, the black line, hopefully you guys can see, but the black line with my mouse, you can see that the price hasn't necessarily broken that particular area for me to feel comfortable taking the trade to begin with. So I was a bit, how can I say, hasty with my decisions. In fact, because I'm tired, I'm not probably thinking straight, that it's probably a better time to stay out of the market. And thank God I broke even on my first trade, but I went in again, I lost the setup, and that was the end of my session. All right. But here's the report, or the final part. It says the first trade effectively was hit by spread, and that's how I hit break even. Right. But the second one was struggling. It was struggling to move past a certain area in terms of profit. And I got stopped out right at the stop loss level before it began to get back into where I thought it would continue. Now, the thing is, the market was choppy, and at the end of the day, I'm not just going to analyze exactly what the market did, how it should have reacted, because at the end of the day, the market will do what the market's going to do. Right? I'm just going to share one more example. Right? Example number 2, you guys could already see, apologies for that. You guys can already see NAS 100 on the 15th of August. This one, my mindset, I'm just going to summarize here for the sake of time, but this one was just an example of whereby my mentality was more to do with, right, I've got conviction, I've got my confirmations, and whatever happens with this particular trade, I'm going to sit on my hands and just wait for the market to do exactly what the market was supposed to do. I'm not necessarily looking for the win or the profit. Whether it's a win or a loss, I'm going to just wait with the outcome. That was my conviction for that particular session. Now, of course, the outcome was a profitable trade. I had a 1 to 2 risk to reward on that particular day, but because I've now placed a process based on the type of person, the identity that I have as a trader. I'm a student, which means I assess my behavior. I'm analyzing the market. I'm analyzing the things that I've done well, the things that I could improve on. And then ultimately, I'm making improvements over and over and over again, right? What you want to do when it comes to habits is, remember, when you're building habits over a certain period of time, you'll realize that what was once class number 1, you no longer need to spend maybe an hour assessing what class number 1 is if you're at class number 50, right? It's just like a game. Let's just look at games, for instance. When you used to play your video games back in the day, right? Whenever you reached a certain level, or level 13, where the final boss is, right? If you lose at level 13, you don't need to start from level 1 again. You start at the beginning of level 13. The same thing applies with our habits. What you want to do is remember that the habits that we're building is not simply because we just want to become boring or robotic. We need to identify with the person that we are and then create a process that matches and suits the type of results that we are eventually going to achieve. But the outcome is like the vision, but it's not the goal. Because now when you get to the goal, you're going to have another goal. But you want to have a vision of how life should be like even now. And therefore, I need to act like who I'm becoming even as we speak. All right. So here's my message to every single person. The call to action for this week is create a statement, an identity statement. All right. And make it align with your trading, or I should have said trading habits every single day. The moment you contradict yourself, there's no shame. Just write it down. Just said, this is what I was supposed to do. This is what I did. This is what I was supposed to do. This is what I didn't do. Okay. Every single week, I'm going to try my best to give you guys a call to action, because at the end of the day, these are all practical things. Hence why I showed you some live examples from my personal trading journal. Okay. All right. I just want to be transparent out here, because it's not just things that we're just saying, but most importantly, these are things you can even take. You rewatch this video and implement it for yourselves and become very practical about building successful habits. At the end of the day, everything that we're teaching here is not just about trading. You can apply everything that we've mentioned in your personal lives and different goals that you want to achieve. But ultimately, when it comes to trading, it is no different to the type of results that you're trying to achieve. And lastly, make sure you read that statement out at least 3 times before the session, similarly to the way that we read the declarations every single day, or that they're sent out every single day. All right. And hopefully next week I can get some testimonies, or maybe people in the chat to mention how it's been, if anybody's done it. All right. With that being said, guys, I love you all. It's been a pleasure. This has been the segment of the habit formation. And just make sure you build some quality and successful habits. And guys, I'll see you guys at the top when it comes to trading. God bless you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind.
Greetings, TP family. My name is Rock Whittington. I live in New Orleans, Louisiana, in the United States. I've been trading for 3.5 years, and I would say for the last year, I have had everything I needed from a technical perspective, but have just really been struggling to develop the necessary psychological skills and the proper mindset to go from losing money to break even, and now to being a profitable trader. And I really have to thank Cliff Cheqona and TP family for, especially the master classes, for just illuminating my mind. I really think that the information that we're getting here in this class is has the favor of God on it. I think it has the power to really transform your life and your trading if you apply it regularly. I think, for me, the main thing that's changed for me is the identity level stuff, the you behind the trading. I'm just able to see myself so much better now and understand that it's not the system, the trading strategy, the setups, the charts. It doesn't matter what that does on a day-to-day basis. It's how I am able to apply that consistently through managing the proper mindset, understanding my cognitive biases and everything that Cliff teaches us, along with the other teachers in the TP family. So yeah, I'm just so grateful. And if you're finding this, consider yourself blessed. It's truly, I think, this is bigger than trading. This will make you a better person in life in general, which will reflect in your trading. So God bless you all, and thank you very much.
It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading.
Hello, wonderful people out there. If you can hear me loud and clear, I want to see some ones in the comment section. If you can hear me loud and clear, I just want to see some ones in the comment section. Just some ones in the comment section. Anyone? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, thank you so much, Emmanuel. Thank you so much, John. Thank you so much. Guys, great to be back once again. We went on a short break and then we resumed last week. But you realized that last week I wasn't here, right? Yeah, I was chilling with my family in Peninsula. But we are back. And then I told Cliff, definitely this week I'm back on again. Thank you so much for joining the session. I'm really proud that you are here. You were able to make the time to be here. It's been a great blessing. I want to thank all the speakers who have come in before me, Nave, Albert, and then Willis. That was really great. I was listening to Nave and then Albert. I'm like, I really need to take fundamentals very seriously. That was a great one. I loved it. And I'm sure a lot of people in the comment section were convicted, like for you to actually have that kind of in-depth understanding about how the market moves, like pairs like US 30, like G30, and then all that is impeccable. Thank you so much, guys. And then for Willis, always, how I salute you. It was really great having you and seeing you once again on here. Guys, just like every week, I have something brief, just very, very brief. After the break and then coming back, I just thought that, I should just bring you all the way back to the beginning stage of edge and then what it actually means for a trader. And that is what I am actually going to bring to you. And so you can bring up the slide. Yes, so basically I'm going to talk about trading edge today. And what exactly is edge? When we talk about edge in trading, what exactly it is, right? Mastering your probability, your psychology, and your process, like which one is it? Or is it all of them? Should we focus on mastering our trading? Is that what edge is about? Should we, master psychology? Is that what edge is about? Or should we, like look at the process all in all? Is that what edge is about? I am here to tell you that, hey, it is all of these things, like bringing all of these things together. You cannot take some out. You have to have all of them together. It is that, addition, all right, that actually makes your journey great. You have to be able to master that probability in the market. You have to be able to know what kind of market you are trading, how you are trading the market, how do you approach the market, from when do you approach the market, what time do you approach the market, and why exactly do you do all of these things the way you say you do them. And you are going to realize that that self-awareness is going to open up your mind, is going to open up your journey, and then make it very interesting for you as a person, right? So now let's go in there, and then let's start, like right from the top. What exactly is edge? Edge is a repeatable advantage that you have over the market. When we say basically edge, what we are trying to say is that you have a certain advantage, you have a certain criteria that makes your winning more than your losses. That makes it a possibility for you to win more than your losses. If a trader stamps their chest and then tells you that, like, I can actually place 10 trades, and out of those 10 trades, I'm going to make about 7 trades, like correctly, and then 3 trades, as losing trades. What they are basically trying to tell you is that they have an edge over the market or over a particular pair that allows them to be able to be profitable in the long run. What does that mean? It means that it is not just the strategy that they are applying in the market that is what of importance, but the risk to reward management that they also add on. Because an individual trader can have 6 wins, 7 wins in every 10 trades that they jump in on the market. And guess what? Because of their lack of good risk management, they are still going to be losing money. And I have, like so many examples to give out there. I have traders, and then in fact, I've made this example on our live sessions before, that someone took, a strategy, they learned how exactly to approach the market in a way, and they took $80 all the way to $10,100. And guess what happened? They ended up blowing that entire $10,100 back to zero. They didn't even withdraw a penny out of that amount. And so a lot of questions could be, like brought about this particular story, and then say, okay, what exactly did he do wrong? And guess what? Everybody can have something to say about it. But if you are not the one who is in that position, you might never know what you will do. And that is what edge is all about. It's about you and how you actually approach the market. What would you have done differently that this particular individual did not do, that you think ended up, losing him that particular capital? And do you think that if you were in that position, you would have done a better job than he did, like during that process? All of these things comes in play. When we say, like, you have an edge over the market, we are not telling you that you are winning every single trade in the market. No. What we are saying is that you have an advantage to win more than you would lose. So edge is simply about balancing, right? Having an upper hand over a particular area, or having an upper hand where you are looking at something that you are interested in happening more than something that you are not interested in. That is all about what edge. So when we say trading edge, or an individual has trading edge, what are we basically saying? We are saying that that particular individual has that potential to be able to what? Make more profit in the market based on everything that they bring into perspective. So now let's look at all that they bring into perspective, for them to be able to become winners in the market. Understanding your trading edge, right? A trading edge is the advantage that enhances your winning probability. Now, what are some of the things that we can take a look at that an individual would say, okay, because of these things, that is why I'm winning in the market? This is the simple equation that I was able to bring forth, all right? This is a simple equation, right? One, you have to understand that trading is not luck. Trading is in no case luck. A lot of people have that misconception that, like trading is luck. And then when you come in here and then it's not going your way, that is when a lot of people go out and they begin to make statements like trading is, like, or Forex is a scam. Or I've heard some people also talk about the fact that it's a Ponzi scheme. And then when I'm like, how shallow can these individuals be, like, to sit back and then talk about it this way? I'm not saying that some of these things are not present in the market. I'm saying that it is not the market that is, but there are some, unscrupulous individuals in the industry who basically do certain things that do not go in line with, the things that are legal in this particular space. And therefore, you can tag those individuals as fraudulent, or, like doing fraudulent stuff in the market, or showing off fraudulent behaviors. But you cannot necessarily tag, like the space as a fraudulent space. All right. So trading is not luck at all. Please take that out of your mind. Many believe that winning is purely out of luck. No. People who win do not win out of luck. There is something that is making them move forward. There's something that is making them grow. There's something that they have been able to bring forth that is making them move forward in the business that they are doing. So if an individual is doing business and that individual is thriving, one of the things that you must be able to know is what exactly is this person applying in that particular area that I am not, that makes them successful and I not successful. I understand. So it's just like risk management, knowing that, okay, what are some of the risks that pertain to this particular area of endeavor? Then now you sit back and say, how can I suppress this risk that comes along? And so, for instance, if you are driving, I've used this example before, you are driving. What is the risk that come in play when you are driving? You have the risk of driving off the road and falling into a ditch, like having an accident and then all right. So now how can I as an individual like lessen that particular risk? Okay, I'll put on my seat belt before I actually start driving the car. Make sure there's fuel in the car so that I don't get locked up on the road. Before I actually step out, I'll make sure that water gauge, everything. You are looking at all the components and things that you can actually tackle before you actually set on the road. In trading is the same thing. Before I enter a trade in the market, what is the worst thing that can happen in this particular area? You can lose your entire capital. That is the worst thing that can happen. Now, what is worse than the worst thing that can happen? After you lose, that's where Clifford Cheqona will tell you about all the mental processes that you can go through. So the losing is a loss, right? You have forgone that. You have lost in the market. But after that, what happens? That is when the emotional roller coasters come in. Some people beat themselves up. Some people get to the point where they say, oh, I've lost all my capital. I want to go, end or take my life, which is like not an option at all. At the end of the day, you should be able to put yourself in a position where you understand clearly what you are doing in the market, and that comes from the reality being the skill and the strategy that you have to be able to apply on the market. All right, a true edge comes from skillful analysis and a strategic decision making, not by chance. Strategic decision making. So how can an individual make strategic decisions on the market? You have to be able to know what you're about on the market, what you are doing on the market. So there's a repeatable process for me personally that I constantly communicate to people. For instance, if I give you this, promise that you go and then tackle them one after the other, right? Promise that you go and tackle them one after the other. So I'm going to take you right there. So let's go in here. Great.
It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game.
Hello guys, I believe you can hear me. Sorry about that. All right, so let's move on. So I bring you into this area. This is my chat area. Nothing really serious about the chat, but sorry to burst your bubble if you are expecting something more. This is how my chat is, but I still milk good like a cow. All right, so now take a look at this. If I come in here, these are the components, right? Anywhere you go on any chart. One, you are looking for the direction of the market. So now it means that if anything at all, we are looking forward to where the direction of the market is going to go. It means I have to be able to know how exactly to follow the direction of the market. So now the question is, how do you follow the direction of the market? And subsequently, in the coming weeks, this is what we are going to be basing on. We are going to take them one after the other, component after component, and then talk about all of them, all right? So that it would actually boost the morale of some individuals, grant you a better understanding of how to view the market, and then whatever pair that you're going to be trading, you realize that it becomes very, very easy for you to do so. Now let's move on. So after direction now, I've been able to ascertain, okay, which direction are you going? Are you going left or right? Are you going up or down? Now, how are you traveling towards that particular direction in which you are going? That is when structure comes in. So you hear a lot of people talk about market structure. Market structure is actually the ultimate component in every strategy that you find. If the individual has built a strategy and market structure is not the core principle, it is very, very difficult for you to be able to follow the trend and how exactly it is unraveling, all right? So structure is one of the key components that you cannot miss out on when creating your own strategy. So direction, where the market is going at a particular point in time, how it is traveling towards that particular direction, and how it is traveling will help you to be able to know your significant points for you to be able to look out for. So for instance, if you take a look at this chart, you can basically see how price moves from here to there. Then you can see how price pulls back. Then price moves from here to there. Then price pulls back. Then here to there. This that is happening is what we call structure, right? A structural play of the market. And you should be able to understand, from time to time how market is moving. And whilst market is unraveling and then creating these structures, it tends to create significant high points, significant low points, areas that are very, very significant for you to take a look at. So from here, if you take a look at this, you can see clearly how I was able to pin this particular low region right here. And then how I pinned this high point in the market as two extreme areas, right? Now, if you take a look at that, that is the high and the low of the month of April. High and low of the month of April. Now, whatever that is happening in here is from the month of April all the way to now, the month of September. And that's how I was able to clearly identify that, okay, so in the month of September, that is when we have had that breakout out of this particular area. And now we have created an all-time high in the market. What am I looking at? I'm looking at direction. I'm looking at the structural play of the market. Now, I'm also, based on the structural play of the market, looking at what? My swing points. My swing points. All right. Swing point, basically, okay, there's a high, there's a low. Which of these highs do I imprint my thought upon? Which of them do I take seriously? Which of them do I mark out and then wait for price to tap into those regions, or look forward for price tapping into those regions? And everybody has a way that they do theirs, all right? But significantly, you should definitely know about what? Resistance, major support areas, major swing points, like pullback regions. So let me just give you an example. If we're having a structural play up, down, and the market taps into a region like this, right? This is a secret, market structural secret. From here, if it is a bullish trend, what are you expecting? Price towards the upside, right? Great. Then we have another push towards the downside, a repeatable process. What are you expecting? Price towards the upside, right? Great. So at the end of the day, if market is doing whatever it has to do around this area, do you know that in your mind, you still are expecting market to push and then go break that particular high point here, to go and then break that particular high point here to create a new high, whatever it is that it does within this region. And that's why we have what we call invalidation region. So that invalidation region should be that particular low area that you are looking out for, just in case market breaks that region. You know that the trend that you were looking at towards the upside has changed entirely. I hope you understand. So before market actually breaks out, it can do so much. But in a grand scheme of things, you know that the structure is pointed towards a direction. And overall, when market is done doing it chaotic, or printing out its chaos, it would follow that particular pattern again. Now, the interesting thing is how to actually maneuver your way through this region is also very essential. And that's why we study structure, which brings you to studying internal structure, which brings you to studying what the significant swing points in the market, and then you go on like that. So after swing points in the market, swing points would make me know where, as an individual, I'll position myself based on the kind of trade that I'm looking to pick. So if I'm a buyer in the market, the kind of concept that I bring in is entirely different from when I am a seller in the market. All All right. So for instance, we are going into a new market space, right? An actual market space. We go into the market space. I'm a buyer. When I go in there, what am I going to look out for? I'm going to buy something. Let's say I'm going to buy this, right? The first thing that I go in there with is with a mind of reducing that particular price, like than it is sold in the market. That is a buyer's mentality, right? I am going in there to try and then reduce or see if I can convince that particular seller to reduce the price to a significant area so that I will be able to purchase. So we have a buyer's region where we could say that if price comes into this particular region, then a buyer is comfortable enough to, be in that area and then buy from that particular region. But there is also an area where a seller is looking to make their transaction from. And the seller's mentality is trying as much as possible to keep price there so that they do not make a loss. So at the end of the day, we have a tug war between buyers and sellers, and every one of them is trying to make profit. So who exactly is going to make the profit in the market? So there are times when we will have a break even for the seller and for the buyer, where we will be able to clearly say that, okay, the buyer did not make money, the seller did not make money, nobody made money. I hope you understand. But there's a point where the seller makes money, where we would say, okay, the seller was able to sell from a very premium point than they actually got it for. And that gave them the significant profit that they are looking out for. And then we could say a buyer has made profit based on the fact that they are able to wait for price to come into a lower region for them to purchase from there, and then watch price as it unravels towards the direction in which they are looking to go. So for me as an individual, guess what? A lot of you individuals in here, and then most of us, have been watching the market go towards a particular direction. Okay, it's going on a buy, and we buy and we still make losses. And the question is, why exactly does that happen? So you see, we are building an edge around all of these things by understanding why certain things happen in the market, so that when they happen, because we know about them, we are a step ahead on the kind of decisions that we will make. And that's what building an edge is all about. Building yourself to the point that when something happens in the market, you are a step ahead of the market to know what you would do. It's not about what the market is printing, but what would you do in such a scenario? And that brings you to what? Building a criteria for yourself. So swing points in the market. Sorry about that. Swing points in the market. Then I'm looking out for what? Buy zones, which I'll call premium areas, and then sell zones. Buy zones, which I'll call discount areas, and then sell zones, which I'll call premium areas, right? So premium and discount areas. So a lot of you don't understand the concept of premium and discount areas. Subsequently, we will delve deeper into these particular regions because there's not a lot of time. I will not necessarily be able to go into details. But after finding this, sometimes these zones can be really huge. And that is why you look for what we call the point of interest. If you have seen anyone write POI, a point of interest. As a trader, you should be able to identify an area where you are interested in taking a trade from. When you have market approaching that particular target, you know that, okay, market is coming in. You are like a sniper who is laying somewhere quietly waiting to trigger, when their target is in viewpoint. All right. And you don't want to trigger too quick. You don't want to trigger too late. You want to trigger at the right point in time. So the question you ask yourself is, what point in time am I going to trigger? That brings you to where exactly you are going to be in the market, and then subsequently what time you are going to be triggering by price coming into your point of view. So when you are a sniper, it doesn't necessarily matter when the target comes in line. It matters when you are triggering. I hope you understand. So they might have given you 9 a.m., but the target walks in at 12. It means that from 9 a.m. to 12, you have to lay down and wait. It's not that 9 a.m., the target is not that you are just going to be triggering. No, you have to lay there and wait until that particular target is in view. Then now you trigger. So you realize that times can really, really change. And it's all a factor that you have to be able to look out for. So when you take a look at the point of interest, then now your entry criteria. Why do you enter the market? How do you enter the market? What do you see before you enter the market, right? That is what entry criteria will be based on. When you talk about my entry criteria, I have two main entry criteria, a risk entry and a confirmed entry. Risk entry means I've been able to refine an area to the bare minimum. Stop loss is good. Price just gets into the point of interest. I trigger the trade. That's risk. Because sometimes price may be dropping towards the downside. I'm looking for buys. So far as the price enters that area, nothing to show that price has slowed down volume is dying out, I just jump in. That is a risk. But confirmed entry is what I love the most. Seeing clearly the market has, like drawn line into your area of interest or your point of interest, slow down, print out what you are supposed to see, and subsequently, as I said, we will basically tackle all of these areas. Then now we'll look out for how price is going to unravel from there, right? With a good stop loss, with a good risk to reward management, and then now we see how price unravels from there. So now back to the slide. So the components of trading and understanding how these factors create your unique trading advantage. So the first one that I'm going to, bring into perspective is what in-depth market insight. So first of all, an individual needs to be, like well abreast with what they are doing. Why exactly are you trading gold? Why exactly are you trading GBP USD? And I hope it is not because Kema is trading GBP USD or Kema is trading gold. That is why you have also chosen to trade GBP USD. All right. The next one, robust risk management, safeguard, against potential losses and enhances your decision making in the market. And when you merge these two together, that is the one that we have in the middle. It brings you an effective strategy which helps you to blend market, understand, risk management, and then all that brings you into that light of being able to manage how exactly you trade in the market. All right. And then I think finally, defining your trading edge, right? A strategy approach to identifying or refining your unique strategy. So all of these things that I've talked about could be a lot of chaos. And that is why usually we have mentors. So they streamline it and tell you, okay, start with this first. Okay, after this, go to the next. After that, go to the next. And then, you realize that the journey becomes easier and easier. It's like an individual learning how to drive and then having someone to teach them how to drive. Okay, I know that, this, first of all, do this, start the engine, do this, do that. As time goes on, you realize that the repeatable process makes it easier for you to be able to tackle. And that is basically how edge is built in the market. One of the things that you must be able to know is that after knowing all of these things, there's the psychological edge as well, which, will basically contrast between the logic and the emotion. It is about what you know in the market, as well as how you behave towards that particular thing that you know in the market. So understanding the balance also helps you as an individual to create that edge that you are looking for in the trading space. And as I said, this is just an introductory phase. Subsequently, we will be delving into these areas one step at a time. Without edge in the market, an individual is basically gambling, but with edge, then you are trading. Thank you so much. I'll see you all next week.
It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading.
I'm great. I'm great. I'm great. I'm going forward. I'm great. Yeah, who is it? Who is that? It's me, Mr. Negative. What do you want? You know me. Just came to ruin your morning, make you second guess your strategy, then remind you of that loss from last week, and make you overtrade today. Nothing new, just the usual chaos. Why do I always let you in? Because you know I'm telling the truth. You've blown too many accounts. You are not consistent. You don't finish what you start. You are just pretending to be a trader. You've seen all the TP Masterclass from Cheqona, yet you're still doing the same things you're not supposed to be doing. You think reading one book changes everything? You will always fall back. You will always lose. I used to believe you. Every time you knocked, I opened the door. But today, I'm learning to talk back. You said I always blow it. But I've learned from every loss. You said I fake confidence, but I'm finally getting real with myself. You said I never change, but today, I'm not silent. Because silence is where you grow. But my voice, that's your eviction notice. I beat a thought by talking. I protect my mind because my mind protects my accounts. I don't let panic speak for me anymore. I don't let doubt take trays for me. When fear talks, I talk louder. When greed whispers, I respond with rules. When shame visits, I tell it, you are not welcome here anymore. Because I know this, the trader I am becoming has no space for the voice I'm leaving behind. I don't believe you. I'll be back, and I'll be here still talking. I don't trade like the version of me that used to survive. I trade like the version of me that's learning to lead. I don't overreact. I don't force entries. I don't chase. I don't fold under pressure because I understand my mindset is the real tool. And if I don't protect it, everything else collapses. So I protect it daily with focus, with boundaries, with truth. And every time the old me shows up again, I don't think about it. I talk because I don't beat a thought by thinking. I beat a thought by talking.
Protect your space. No bad energy. Don't let it in, no, don't let it in, no, no bad energy. Hey! Protect your space. Woo, woo. No bad energy. Don't let it in, no, don't let it in, no, no bad energy. Woo. I light a candle for peace in my mind. Built these walls from the lessons and time. Used to doubt, now I draw the line. If it don't bring growth, it ain't touching mine. I've cried with a smile, broken silence, prayed in the dark, still found alignment. Now I filter vibes like a king on assignment. If love ain't in it, I'm moving in silence. Spirit clean, frequency high, can't let drama slip inside. Joy's a weapon I won't hide. This my temple, this my tribe. Protect your space. No bad energy. Don't let it in, no, don't let it in, no, no bad energy.
It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading.
All right. Good evening, everybody. If you can hear me loud and clear, just drop some number ones in the chat. Let me know that you can hear me. All right. Can everybody hear me loud and clear? Okay. Before we go into today's lesson, I just have a couple of few things I would like to bring on for us to be able to understand. Please watch this. As you can see, there was a lot of information being given to you guys today, and as I was sitting back listening to all the segments, all I could think of is how fortunate each and every single person on this masterclass truly is. And some people may disagree with me, but it's fine by me. When I started trading in 2012, there wasn't a level of information needed for a body of structure of transformational knowledge in the space, at least for retail traders. And as I was sitting back and I was just listening, I'm like, my God, I really hope people are really paying attention and listening from the market markup segment to the habit segment to the edge segment. Every single thing you guys are seeing, the segments coming up next, we are not just trying to put up a show. They are all psychologically engineered to be able to help you to get some knowledge to be able to use it to go to the next level. Now, the only thing that you are doing or you should do is to just pay attention, learn, pinch some of the things that you think you don't need based on discernment, and some of the things that you believe that you have passed there, just take the information and grow with it. It's very important. So I just really want to say thank you to the whole team, the effort they put in. I want to touch on a little bit on the market markup before we go next, and I will say hi to everybody who is new on today's masterclass. I want you guys to understand something, that the market markup segment and the team beautifully gave you guys a disclaimer. We are not trying to give you any financial advice. The purpose of that is to be in the journey with you. That last week something happened in the market, they are going to talk about it. There is a possibility something will happen in the market, they want to talk about it. Now, that is where you can go back and say, okay, I'm looking at gold, I'm looking at this, how can I do this? Now, even though this is a psychological masterclass segment, we try our best to bring an experience for you. So it's not just about the masterclass, only a psychological segment only. The whole entire segment comes together as one experience to give you transformation, all the way down to the psychology segment part. And again, as I saw the testimonials today as well, I just really want to say thank each and every single person that is paying attention to this community to transform. Some of these testimonies, I used to enjoy them alone when people used to send it to me in my email, but the team and of course the TP family, we agreed we are going to start sharing most of them also on this masterclass. So do well. If you have some testimonials and you want to record and send it to us, you can do your best and also send it to consult@cliffcheqona.com. And then at the end of the day, you can have it, or maybe team@cliffcheqona.com, whichever one the email, but specifically consult@cliffcheqona.com will be the best one. Also, I have some few announcements I want to give, and then we'll go into today's lesson. By the way, guys, the Spotify platform with all the TP masterclasses previously and the current ones are all being uploaded on the TP masterclass Spotify platform. All you have to do is to search TP masterclass on Spotify, and these audios will come around. So the team has done their best, and because of longevity wise, on the Spotify, you will only find the segment regarding to just the psychological side of you, but then it's all uploaded on the Spotify platform. So again, all those who are requesting for Spotify uploads of the masterclass is live now, and you can do your best and also go and tune in and just listen. If you are cooking, you are driving, you want to just listen to the audio, the Spotify is also ready for you. And also, I'm going to let the media bring up the TP Masterclass Ghana registration link finally is here. We are praying that God will help us so that we can be able to make sure we give the right stuff to people. So I'm going to ask if we can bring the TP Masterclass registration flyer on the screen for me, please. If it's ready, can we bring it up? Thank you. So this is the TP Masterclass Live in Ghana edition. This specific one here, as you guys can see, you can scan the QR code and you can do you can have your registration being done, because we want to coordinate things very well, so that we can know how many people are going to come, how many people are we expecting, so that we can know how to deal with the masterclass, live here, live in Ghana. So I mean, some of the team we will all fly into Ghana, and then we will see how it's going to go, and so on and so forth. And then we will take it out from there. But before even this masterclass, there is something also as well, that every single person who is a Ghanaian living in Ghana, and you are part of the TP family, We also have a surprise for you, but this surprise will be announced next week, God willing, on our masterclass here live on YouTube. And also, before I forget, as you guys have realized, we are streaming on YouTube, Instagram, and then Facebook as well. As time goes on, we'll try as much as possible to add other several platforms and so on and so forth. And so these are the couple of few things that I will quickly like to share. And also, there are a couple of few things we will announce and give the right announcement next week. But for the time being, for today, the registration link for the TP Masterclass live in Ghana. The date is not yet structured. It is structured, but we have not revealed it yet for a reason. We just want you guys to start with the registration first. And then if you have any questions as well, you can always feel free and reach out to us, and then we'll take it out from there. All right. Thank you. So let's go into today's lesson. Is something that I truly believe is timely for many people. And I'm going to be teaching today's lesson from the bottom of my heart. And I really hope that somebody gets this information. But before that, I just want to say hi to all those who are new to on this masterclass. Please don't forget to tell somebody that we are live so that they can join us as well. Let them all know that we are live. We are live, and they don't want to miss this. If you are a trader and you believe that you deserve this space, and you believe that this space is meant to be yours, you don't want to miss today's message. You don't want to miss today's teachings. I truly believe it's going to transform a lot of minds. I truly believe that it's going to heal a lot of heart emotionally. I truly believe it's going to give clarity to many people who are asking themselves, how do I go from where I am to where I am desiring to be? It is very important that you understand exactly what is it that we're about to do here. So please, I want you to declare this to yourself, as you always know, that I am ready to learn. And as I always tell you, I am ready to teach. I am ready to learn by you, your declaration, and I am ready to teach. I am ready to learn. You say it, and I'm telling you, I am ready to teach. So make sure that nothing distracts you at this moment. Make sure that you position yourself in the right way intentionally. If somebody is around you, distracting you, making sure that you don't focus, it is your responsibility to cast out those distractions. Maybe this is the message that is going to give you clarity. There are people right now listening to me. If this message don't come to you today, you are ready to quit trading. Believe me, this message, I've told you guys already that the reason why people sometimes say, Cliff, this message was timely, this message is what I needed, is because we don't teach it because we can teach. We teach them because that is the message for the season for you by the grace of God. So there are people right now that if you don't hear this teaching you're about to listen to today, there is a highly chance you are about to quit trading. There is a high chance that you are almost about to quit trading. Not quit trading from the standpoint of you will never pick the MT5 or MT4 again, but you are going to quit trading by not doing the things you know you have to do because you are exhausted and it looks like you think you have put in the right effort, but the results is not showing forth. And so this teaching is going to give people clarity. This teaching is going to let you say, wow, now I understand why the results is not showing the way it's supposed to be shown. Are you with me? So if you are ready to learn, put it in the comment. I am ready to learn. I want you guys to listen to me carefully now. In this life that we live in, you need to understand, while I was meditating on this message, I realized that there are 3 teachers that every single person will need to decide to meet and will meet whether you like it or not. I'm going to repeat it again. There are 3 different types of teachers in life, in destiny, that you will have to decide to meet. And you will have no choice but to meet these teachers. I want to start my conversation from there today. The first teacher, while I was meditating on today's topic, is called the teacher of pain. You may have heard me say this before, that we have levels of realities. We have perceived reality, we have experienced reality, and we have objective and spiritual reality. Now, my perceived reality can mean that pain simply means bad, something negative. So if I am going through an uncomfortable life, my brain will automatically let me feel it as a negative process. Are you with me? Then we have an experience reality. It is a reality that I will say, for me, I think this is not good. For me, based on experience, if you do this, this will happen. It's an experience reality. You cannot be able to conclude that everything must be this way. For example, we talk about big boys, big boys, big boys. You can pick up the life of Jim Simmons. You can pick up the life of Ray Dalio. You can pick up the life of even Warren Buffett. You can pick up the life of, right now, there is, the famous man in this industry, the Einstein of Wall Street. You can pick all of them up. Anton Kreol, anybody you want. Every one of them, no matter how profitable they are speaking from mostly their experience reality. Why am I saying this? Even though we call them big boys, their experience reality is where they behave from, by understanding also objective and spiritual reality. The same way when you pick, may his soul, hopefully, Jesse Livermore. When you pick Jesse Livermore, even though he was a very successful trader, at the end of the day, unfortunately, he took his whole life, and he said that he realized that he didn't learn anything and he is a failure. This was somebody that, if we are supposed to pick the traders of old to learn from them, we will say that Jesse Livermore is an amazing example. So why then did he take his own life and still think that he didn't match up to the things he was looking for? There was more in his life and more to his story, but at the end of it all, he didn't find what he was looking for. Experienced reality. So the first teacher that every single person, whether you like it or not, you will meet in your life to teach you is called the teacher of pain. And that teacher, when he teaches you, is instant learning. For example, if I take my hand near fire and the fire burns me instantly, I don't need to go and sit down and say, wow, the fire burnt me from a 45 degrees angle. Therefore, 45 degrees means this fire is dangerous. You don't do that. Immediately, you know that this is painful and the fire has done something to your hand. Are you with me? It is very important that you understand this. So when you blow an account, it's painful. But it's not just something bad happening to you. You are learning. It's a teacher right there. Are you with me? So the first teacher, you have no choice. It doesn't ask for permission. It must teach you. When I say I want to become a mentor, pain of dealing with sometimes not being able to have time to eat. There are certain times I will start my morning consultation as early as 6 a.m. because people are in different time zones. And sometimes I can have consultations throughout, over 4 to 5 to 6 people in a row, and I will find myself eating somewhere later, almost in the evening. I am hungry. There is pain in my belly. But at the end of the day, you need to understand that if I'm going to become a coach and a mentor, I need to learn by what people call pain. But as you understand from our previous lessons, pain does not mean bad. Pain is not negative. Pain is initiation. Pain is growth. So if you say, according to my experience, pain is bad, I understand. It's called experience reality. But from an objective standpoint, pain is not bad. Pain is a signal. So when you take your hand to fire and the fire burns you, that pain signal in your mind and tell you, be careful so that you don't get hurt by the fire. It's painful, but that pain is not bad. It's telling you, be careful. So the first teacher that you will meet is called the teacher of pain. You will meet pain somewhere, whether it is fire, whether it is losses, whether it is disappointment, heartbreak, it doesn't matter. People found the love of their life because they went through heartbreak, pain. It taught them a lesson that made them see that if I see X, Y, Z, it's called red flag. Therefore, based on that pain I went through the last time, this is a no. You can never go back. Are you with me? So pain is the first teacher. It's unavoidable. So if you are here and you're listening to me right now and you have experienced losses and so on and so forth, those are things you cannot escape. However, stay with me. Pain is not the only teacher in life. The second teacher you will meet, unavoidable. You can't escape this teacher. The name of the teacher is called the teacher of time. The teacher of time. The teacher of time. Some lessons will only make sense through time. So you can be here right now and you can read all the books on marriage, but I can assure you, the book will never be able to teach you about marriage. Only time can. It's impossible for you to read and understand marriage in its context between a husband and a wife from a book. The teacher that can teach you this is called the teacher of time. Unavoidable. Why? It is important time also teach you so that it will form you. So that is why no matter how we sometimes as a family member, as a father and as a mother, you desire to have a child in 1 month, but time will not allow it. It has to finish teaching you the things you have to go through and form the growth process between 9 months. Then you become a mother. So the first teacher is called the teacher of pain. The second teacher is called the teacher of time. So while sometimes people come and say, Cliff, I want to be able to understand how to be able to make it in trading. As much as I desire to give you the answers you are looking for, unfortunately, I am only also a dimension of a teacher. That dimension of a teacher I am the kind of teacher that gives you information. I give you knowledge. But understanding lessons and things, there are several teachers. So pain must teach you. Time must teach you. So there are people right now that 5 months ago, you were not that serious. And you and I know it. Even if you were not that serious. You couldn't even sit down for 30 minutes to listen to a masterclass. But you started this month. You started this year. You must take time to be able to become. Some of the people who didn't believe in mental transformation 2 years ago, you only believed in mental transformation in 2025. It will take time. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. Time must teach you. First teacher, pain. Second teacher, time. The last teacher that you will meet is what I call the teacher of reflection. The teacher of reflection. So the first teacher, the name is called pain. The second teacher is called time. The third teacher is called reflection. Now, with pain and time, it's unavoidable. You have no choice. You will meet them. Whether now, tomorrow, or there is a day coming. But the teacher of reflection, you don't meet this teacher because it is time or because you need to grow. You meet this teacher by your will. How do you meet this teacher? You meet this teacher by your will. You are not on this masterclass because the stream found you at your house. You jumped on it. You logged in. You got an internet by your will. And so this is the one teacher, the teacher of reflection. It is the one teacher that you must choose. So pain will come, time will pass, but reflection is optional. And do you know the beautiful thing? Pain can teach you, but it may not cause transformation. Time may teach you, but it may not cause any results. The one teacher that creates results and success is the teacher of reflection, the one that you decided to cancel every distraction, analyze, reflect, and learn by journaling, by writing. That means when you come on this lesson, you decided to write. When we go out of this masterclass, you decided to reflect. When you reflect, you decided to apply beyond abstract concept. Then you decided to create a system to make sure this lesson speak in your life. Pain will not do it for you. Time will not do it for you. What will do this for you is your will, the teacher of reflection. So reflection is when you sit, you think, you journal, and you extract meaning. So that means if this week you blew an account, it's painful, there is a lesson. Time has revealed what you didn't know or you knew. But it is what you will sit down to do out of that blown account by reflection is what will transform your mind. Are you with me? It is very important that you understand this. So every human being will meet pain and time, whether they like it or not. But only those who choose reflection transform their experiences into lasting profitability and success. That is why many remain stuck. They met pain, they waited on time, but they never reflected. They were never intentional. It is very important that you understand this. So many people here listening to me right now, you have blown an account and it's painful. In fact, when we were praying with the prayer team before I came onto this masterclass, we were talking about something. And we said that there are many homes, and this is coming from a place of heartbreak. There are many homes right now, fathers are losing money, cousins and siblings are losing money to trading, mothers are losing money. And sometimes, of course, mentors will say, be serious, be this, but these people are serious. They don't want to lose money, but they don't know the truth. They don't know how to be able to structure their mindset and become the traders they need to become. Trading is not a joke. It's a serious business. I always tell people this. You will hear people sometimes saying, for me, I love trading so much. I say, Chief, the reason why you love trading so much is because you are not trading. You don't understand the level of how trading is a business. No matter how you love being a doctor, at some point you get exhausted. So if trading from Monday to Friday, you don't get exhausted by the level of decisions you were making and the level of system and structures you were following, you were not trading. Some people right now don't know that as a trader, you need to have a plan of retirement. You know why? Because you are not trading yet. When you understand the model of the business, you will understand trading is not a joke. And God will ask me if I come on this masterclass and I don't tell you the truth, that trading is not complicated, but it's difficult. It's difficult because of what is required of you to become, to make it out alive in this industry. Don't let the flashy things people show you on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, or wherever, don't let it deceive you. Trading is a business. There are people who take their life because they couldn't take it anymore. There are homes of people right now, they are devastated. They don't even know how to pick up their laptop again because they are devastated from what trading has done to their bank accounts. And I'm telling you this, when we started trading, we taught the same way as well. We thought all you have to do is to put in the money and you'll be successful. You are chief. It doesn't work like that. So you must be serious to learn, to reflect, to sit down and think like a person who wants to become a trader. Are you with me? Today, I titled my topic today something very interesting for today's topic, and I want you to pay attention. Today's topic, I titled it, A Profitable Trader. Write the topic down. A profitable trader. A profitable trader. A profitable trader. A profitable trader. Do you have the title now? A profitable trader. Now, when we say a trader, I'm sure each and every single person listening to me right now who has been following TP family for a while, you understand when I say a trader. Not just somebody who clicks buy and sell. Who is a trader? I'm going to give you the psychological definition. Write it down. A trader is not just someone who clicks buy or sell. A trader is someone who takes risk with the expectation of return. I want you to underline the word takes risk with the expectation of return. Who is a trader? I'm giving you the psychological definition. A trader is someone who is not just clicking buy or sell. So who is a trader? A trader is somebody who takes risk with the expectation of return. With the expectation of return. But in order for you to be able to have an expectation of any returns, you must take a risk. So risk is involved. The Bible says something in GNT version of Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 1. It says, invest your money in foreign trade, and one of these days you may make a profit. He said, invest in many places even, because you don't know what kind of bad luck this world can bring. What kind of bad luck this world can bring. As far as it involves investment and putting money or anything in something, there is a possibility you may not get anything out of it. That is why there is a saying, only deposit the money you are willing to lose in trading. It's not just a statement that sounds sexy. It's a statement to do something to your mind. So what are we talking about today? A profitable trader. At the end of this lesson, my goal is to make sure you listening to me right now, you will go and say, wow, whether you are a mentor, whether you are a trader by individual, personal trading, or you are coaching people, this message is a message that will help you and your community or whatever that you are doing in the industry to know and understand what a profitable trader really is. So number one, who is a trader? A trader is someone who takes risk with the expectation of return. Let's define profitable. To be profitable, let's define the word profitable. When I was basically my whole entire life, there is a way I look at things in life. I look at things in life by the actual meaning. When you look at the word profitability or profitable, it doesn't mean money. It doesn't mean l'argent, dingy. It doesn't mean that. Okay? It doesn't mean sika or it doesn't mean kobo, right? Money doesn't mean what people always think is connected to profitability or whatever. To be profitable means to make progress, to advance, to make progress, and to accomplish something. That is what, when we say something is profitable, it means. So when you say that I am profitable, when we look at you, we need to see an advancement. When we look at you, we need to see progress. When we look at you, we need to see some level of some advancement, some accomplishment. Now, let's talk about a general definition of profitable or being profitable. It means being able to bring more than you lose, and you create surplus on top of what you have. So, the beautiful story in the Bible whereby God gave one guy 5 talents. I mean, not God, but the master gave the servant 5, gave the other one 2, gave the other one 1. At the end of the day, the one with 5, multiplied it. The one with 2 also did the same. The one with 1 didn't do anything about it. So we can say that it's not about whether if he multiplied it himself or not. He was supposed to do something. He didn't. The only thing he did was to bury the talent, the gift. So you need to understand that when something comes on top of something, we can call it a profitable exchange, right? So the psychological definition of being profitable means this. Please write it down. There is a reason why I'm giving you psychological definitions. To be able to be profitable means extracting value, lessons, and advantage from every experience, whether wins or losses. Please write it down. When you hear somebody saying that somebody is profitable, it means the individual either extracted some form of value. Value here can be monetary value. It can be any form of value. If you go somewhere and somebody gives you a car, it's an exchange of something valuable. If somebody gave you maybe a gift, anything, something valuable that you can actually see. So when we say psychological definition of profitability or profitable, it means to extract value, lessons, and advantage from every experience, whether wins or loss. So to be profitable, it's not just about money, it's about progress. Now let's combine the both of them together as we always do. A profitable trader is a trader. Please write this down very well. A profitable trader is a trader whose mind, skills, systems, and outcomes together produce consistent progress, growth, and sustainability. Discipline yourself and write the definition down, please. Don't just listen. Okay? Please don't just listen. I'm going to define it again. A profitable trader is a trader whose mind, their skills, systems, and outcomes all together produce consistent progress, growth, and sustainability. I'm going to repeat it one more time. A profitable trader is a person whose mind, skills, systems, and outcomes together produce consistent progress, growth, and sustainability. Do you have it down, please? It is very important that you understand that what you're about to learn or what you are learning today, what it will do to you, you have no idea yet. So all I need from you is to pay attention and write and listen. I wrote down something here and I want you to write it down as well. In the beginning, we are taking some notes. I'm coming to break things down for you all. Don't worry. I wrote down here that a trader is somebody who turns wins into growth and losses into lessons. So every outcome is profit. I'm gonna say it again. I said that a profitable trader is somebody who turns wins into growth and turns losses into lessons. That means every outcome is profit. Did you get that? A trader who turns wins into growth and turn losses into lessons, that in that person's life, every outcome is profit. I want to go into the next part of this masterclass, and I want you to understand this. I wrote down something here and I called them the misconceptions of being a profitable trader. The misconceptions of being a profitable trader. Anytime you hear the word conception, it means something has received something and it has the ability to give birth. To conceive means you have received something and it has led to the state of germination. It has led to the state of from giving birth to something. So when we say misconception, it doesn't mean the conception is not there. You just missed. But you have still conceived. So it doesn't matter even if it is true or not. The thing is, it is doing something to your perception. So I wrote down here only three misconceptions about being a profitable trader. One of them simply means profitability is equal to money only. It's a misconception. It's not true. To be profitable is not equal to money. It's not true. In reality, money is the fruit, not the root. Did you hear that? Money is the fruit, not the root. So a lot of people who say, I want to be a profitable trader, that are chasing the fruits, my question to you is, how does a fruit comes out without any tree? So if you knew better, I am sure you will be actually chasing the tree, knowing that if the tree is healthy, the fruit will eventually come out. So profitability equal to money is not true. It's a misconception. It doesn't mean that you have not conceived it. You have, but it's a misconception. And misconception also is another form of conception. The only issue is that you have missed what you wanted to conceive. And so your fruits will not be what you are looking for. It's like as a farmer, you planted apple seeds, but you are sitting down waiting, telling everybody that you're going to get watermelon. You are joking. Because you are ignorant that you don't even know you planted apple. I'm not even sure any fruit is even coming out for you. I wonder what you even planted. So the first misconception is that profitability is equal to money. It's not true. Number two, the second misconception is profitability equal to never losing. It's not true. That if you are profitable, it means you don't lose. It's a misconception. In reality, losses are parts of profitability. There is a name given to when somebody lose in a profitable state is called lessons. So the L in the world of a profitable trader is not loss, it's a lesson. That is why I tell people this, that in the people that talk to me from time to time again, I tell them, don't say I have hit stop loss. Say that I have stopped the loss. Don't say that I have hit stop loss. Tell yourself, I have stopped a loss. There is something I used to do back in the days with few people in my community. Not few people in the community, are people that get a chance to talk to me on a day-to-day basis. I always tell them this, that don't only come to me and tell me how much take profit you took in a day. Come also and let's celebrate how many losses you stopped in a day. Did you get that? If you only come to me week in, week out, and you tell me, Cliff, I was able to hit TP, which is take profit, not trading psychology yet, take profit. Yes, I'm glad for you that you are growing, but were you able to stop a loss? Or can you stop a loss when a trade goes south? So both take profit and stopping losses. So why do we say take the profits and we don't say stop the loss? So we look at take profit as something good and we look at stop loss as something bad because we think stop losses are not part of profitability. Just Livermore says something. He said a stop loss is a successful execution from your risk management plan. A stop loss is a successful execution from a risk management plan. So when you go into the market and you stop a loss, you were successful. In fact, you were also a profitable trader because one way or the other, you have learned. So in the beginning, you remember I told you something, that there are three teachers. They also exist in trading. You blew an account that is paying. Over a period of time, you don't need to keep on blowing an account anymore. At some point, you need to sit down and reflect by your will what is happening to your trading. Until by your will, you subscribe to reflection, journaling, thinking, sitting down, paying attention, nothing will change in your trading. Are you with me? Misconception number one, profitability is not equal to money. Profitability is when you understand that money is only the fruit, but then not the root. Misconception number two, never losing is a lie. You will lose from time to time again. So a stop loss is a stop trade, not a loss trade. So don't tell me that, Cliff, I have hit stop loss again. Tell me, Cliff, I have stopped a loss. In fact, TP family members, let's declare something to rewire the atmosphere a little bit for our understanding. So from next week going, I want you to declare this, that as I'm going into the market next week, I am becoming a trader who is ready to stop a loss. I am becoming a trader who is ready to stop a loss. So redefine, people, the way we have defined stop losses has made many people to hate it. How can you hate the one thing that protects you? Imagine going to buy a car and you tell the car dealers, please remove the brake from the car. I am a very good driver, so I don't need the brake. No matter how good you are of a driver, you are dead because you need a brake. And it's like traveling from point A. If you are traveling from point A to point B, watch this. This is how I always explain trading to people to understand. Trading is like driving. When you leave your house and you are going to another location, you will get to a traffic light. The traffic light doesn't mean your journey has ended in the traffic. It means something is telling you stop the car, wait for the signal again and go. If you refuse to stop because you think stopping means you are getting late or you will not get there early, a crash may delay you inevitably from even getting to your destination. Are you with me? So a stop loss does not mean you have lost a trade. It means you stopped a trade that was not going the direction that was supposed to be, and therefore you are waiting for the right signal. Misconception number three. What is that? Profitability is equal to a destination. It's not true. In reality, profitability is a state of mind. It's not a destination. So there are people right now that you ask them, what are you waiting for? I'm waiting to become a profitable trader. I understand what they mean, but what they are basically saying, I'm waiting for time. eventually to make me a profitable trader. It doesn't work like that. Time is not what makes you a profitable trader. Time only gives you the chance to learn how to become a profitable trader. Are you with me? So these are only the 3 misconceptions we'll talk about now, because we need to keep going. We have many things to study today and we have to finish. So the misconception number 1, profitability is not equal to money only. I hope you have written all of them down. The misconception number 2, the misconception number 3. Write those things down. If you are learning, drop some number ones in the chat for me and declare to yourself that I am becoming a profitable trader. I am becoming a profitable trader. I am becoming a profitable trader. Just by the things you are hearing alone, we are rewiring a way that you used to see profitability in trading. You are becoming. If you are paying attention, there is no way from the beginning of this masterclass to where you are now, something is not happening to your mind right now. You are becoming. That is why I told you, make sure every single trader you know is on this masterclass. I'm about to give you the psychological stages of success and profitability in trading. Before I will give you how to actually really step on the surface of becoming profitable. I'm going to give you, first of all, the psychological stages of success and profitability in trading. Please write a topic down. The psychological stages of success and profitability. I think it was Bob Proctor that said, success is the progressive realization of a wealthy ideal. I love that definition. I just added my own little bit to it. I define my success is the progressive realization of your kingdom mandate and the will of God concerning your life. But at the same time, I love both definitions. Success is the progressive realization of a wealthy ideal. Progressive, meaning you need to be able to know when something can be defined as success. When we started building this community and building this brand, I was never fulfilled with the things I was doing. So in other words, I was always thinking that, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do this, I have to do that. Even in trading, the same thing happened to me. I could have an account. I remember in 2015 ending almost 2016 thereabout, I made some money, very good amount of money, but I lost it again. But the purpose of that lesson that I want to talk about here today is when you don't define success, you will never achieve it. When you don't define success, you will never achieve it. That is why I tell people all the time, define what success means for you as a trader. It is very important that you understand it. Define what success means to you, for you as a trader. Because success is the progressive realization of a wealthy ideal. That means if $5 is all you wanted in your life and you make that, as far as that definition of success was given, you are successful. But I'm about to show you why the way you started is not the same way you feel. I will show you. I wrote down four psychological stages. Number 1, survival profitability. Number 1 is survival profitability. Number 1 is survival profitability. Number 1 is survival profitability. Can you guys still hear me? If you guys can hear me, drop some number ones in the chat for me, please. Number 1 is survival profitability. Survival profitability. If you can hear me, drop some number ones in the chat for me. Number 1 is survival profitability. Number 1 is survival profitability. Okay, let's go on. Number one is survival profitability. Also, by the way, the media just showed me that on Instagram there are people also there. If this is your first time that you are joining us here on TP Masterclass from Instagram, I just want you to know that we honor you, we appreciate you, we love you all. Facebook as well. I know this is the first experience ever. Be patient with us, and I hope you are learning. So if you are hearing me from Instagram, drop some number ones in the chat as well. Let me talk to all the Instagram people. Anyways, survival profitability. That is the first one. What is the definition of survival profitability? It is when, you told yourself when you started trading, only if. I remember when I started, being on the journey of an entrepreneur, and those days I used to live in Ukraine. And I will never forget, there were some desires of money I wanted, and I said, if only I can get this is all that I want. This is all that I want. And I got it, and it was not enough, but it was enough for the mindset I had then. I don't even want to mention the amount of money that I said, oh my God, if I get this, my life will change. There are people who have come on calls with me and they tell me, Cliff, if only I can make, this amount of money, my life will change. I'm like, your life will not change, Chief. It will give you clarity and some level of some feeling and some success, but your life won't change like that. In life, growth has to happen all the time. So survival profitability is the beginning stage of becoming successful and profitable in trading. So can I even make something out of trading? Will this signal providers even give me the right signal? It's all about, can I make something? So here, the success that you are trying to have, you are not trying to blow an account immediately. You just really want to see if trading works. So even if it's $5, you're like, yes, I made $5 in the account. That is all that you are looking for. So the focus here, if you are somebody that you are in this stage, the purpose of what I'm telling you here today is for you to understand the stage you are in so that you can know where to go from. So the purpose of this stage is so that you can be able to understand and listen. If you put your money in the banks, if you put your money in the bank, they don't even give you any percentage. And even if you ask for it, listen. Before I go on to these stages, listen to me carefully now. If you are here and you are listening to me and you are saying, oh, Forex is just for these people, you are joking. Whether you like it or not, you are part of the financial market. The only difference between you and those who are willing to learn how to trade is that they want to turn it into a business. I am not advocating that every single person should be a trader by turning it into a business, but don't be ignorant about the financial market. You travel, you save at the bank, you do everything, at least get some level of financial literacy about the world of finance. So when you put your money in the bank, whether you like it or not, they multiply it. The minute your money goes into the bank, it's not yours anymore. They are using it, but they will not give you any return on investment back. So what you are doing now is that you want to be able to see if you can learn this skill and do something about your income with that skill set. So even if you make $5 during the survival profitability stage, your focus during that stage must be number one, gratitude. Father, thank you for this $5. Gratitude. Number two, discipline. Number three, you need to know how to withdraw. You see, there are many, and I'm speaking to this to everybody, but specifically I'm speaking to mentors now. Every single mentor that encourages their mentees to withdraw, God bless you. Because there are many people who doesn't know withdrawal is another form of a skill set. Some people don't withdraw because they don't know how to withdraw. They don't even know how their back office withdrawal portal looks like. Some people have been trading for 1 good year and they don't even know how their withdrawal portal looks like. Chief, you will not be profitable like that. Even if you don't have anything to withdraw, at least go and look at the withdrawal portal once a week to give you some motivation. So you will notice the day that they have made some money, they will now ask the mentor, boss, please, how do I even withdraw from this back office? Really? After 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years? You have made some money, you don't know how the back office look like? No. Withdrawal is also another form. So during this stage, you focus on gratitude. Father, thank you for the $5. Gratitude. You focus on being disciplined to keep on learning. The danger here during this stage of the survivor profitability is that many despise this stage because the numbers feel too small. There are people that sometimes when I go on the consultation segment with them, when I meet them, they're like, Cliff, I'm not profitable. I'm like, okay, have you made $1 before? They said yes. Have you made $5 before? They said yes. Have you made $10 before? They said yes. Some people will even cut me off and say, Cliff, we have multiplied our money 100% in percentage before. And then I look at them and I said, so what do you mean? What are you doing here? What are you doing here? What do you mean you are not profitable? What they are trying to basically say is, I made money, but Cliff, the money I made can't buy the mansion. The money I made cannot buy the C-class. The money I made cannot buy the new iPhone I want to buy for my girlfriend. It's not enough. I understand, Chief. But as far as profitability is concerned, you are. The only difference between you and actual profitability is mindset. So during this stage, people despise the stage because the profits look small, but they are profitable. Stage number 1, survival profitability, the beginning stage of becoming successful and profitable. What are the definition that I gave you? That during this stage, you are going to see small success. Your focus during that stage, you must be grateful, disciplined, and you must be able to practice withdrawal. Not make withdrawal, practice withdrawal. That means the essence of that money you are withdrawing either is to use it to buy something or to just withdraw it and put it back. It's up to you. But you need to practice withdrawal. Because any money that is still in your broker account is not yours. People sometimes tell me, Cliff, I want to compound. Chief, don't compound in the broker. No. Find a way to understand the arithmetic structures of your account and withdraw some money and compound somewhere else. Imagine your favorite restaurant near you started working in 2020 and you go to the restaurant and they tell you, we are still compounding our money we have been making from 2010 at the back office. It's no more a restaurant then, it's a bank. Right? So don't compound in your brokerage. No, don't do that, because one day that same money you are compounding, you will donate it to the broker. You will give it to them. Are you with me? So the first stage is the survival profitability. It is a stage you need to be able to understand that during this stage, you must be grateful for the little things that you are seeing in the market. Because if your money was at the bank, you will not even get $1 or 1 cent. Stage number 2 is what I call the growth profitability. Growth profitability. That is the stage you will ask yourself, can I do it again? So there are people right now, you are now entering into the survivor profitability. If only I could make $5. Good for you. When it happens, give thanks. The people in stage number 2, the stage is called growth profitability. You are asking yourself, can I do it again? Those people, they are afraid of success. Not because they don't want to be successful, they just don't want to be disappointed by what they did yesterday. So the question they keep on asking themselves is, can I do it again? So during this stage, what they are basically looking for is consistency. So over here, you are trying to repeat the same process across weeks, months, and so on and so forth. Are you with me? Now, what do you need to focus on during the second stage? I wrote down here. During the second stage, the most important thing to be focusing on is journaling. Journaling, your routine, controlling your emotions, and scaling slowly. Slowly. Don't introduce yourself to big risk quickly. Yesterday you were risking $5. The next day you risk $50. If your account is only $100, you are in trouble because one pullback. There was a conversation I was having with an individual, and they said that they are using this level of stop loss for this, and I said, don't do that. You need to. I don't want to digress too much. I wanted to teach you something in a story, but it's fine. Let me not digress. Let's stick to the stages. So stage number 2 is what we call the growth profitability. During this stage, you are asking yourself, can I do it again? If this is where you are, success to you. When I was I hope you guys are understanding the way I'm arranging the stages for you. The first one is called the survivor profitability. I told you that during the survivor profitability, the definition for that is, can I even make something? You are just looking for something small. The definition of the success during that stage is just don't blow the account. Stage number one, if I look at you, it doesn't matter even if you have not made a lot of money. I will define your success to the level of the money you didn't blow. Even if it remains just 50%, just don't blow it during that stage. And what do you focus on during that stage? Gratitude. Stage number two, growth, profitability. I said, can I do it again? Is the name of the definition for that stage. If you're asking yourself that question, can I do what I did last week? That is where you are. What is the definition of the success in that stage? Consistency. How do you become consistent? The focus point is this: journal, follow a routine, control your emotions, and scale up slowly. Now, there are dangers during stage number two. The dangers is that you will chase more, or you will chase it too fast, or you will break your consistency. So every single time that you are chasing more and it leads to losses, you are like, man, I don't know why I'm not successful. If you are chasing too fast, you are like, man, I don't know why I'm not successful. If you are breaking your consistency rule, you are like, man, I don't know why I'm not successful. Are you with me now? Stage number one, survival. Stage number two, growth. If you are learning, drop some number ones in the chat. If you are learning, drop some number ones in the chat. Are you learning? Stage number three, multiplication profitability. Multiplication profitability. Multiplication profitability is stage number three. This stage is what you ask yourself, can I now scale what works? So now you know it works, but you want to make more. This is where the Brabus start to come in. The G-Wagons and the Lamborghini Desires. You know what I'm saying? It's coming now, because now you know you can flip the account from $50. I know somebody that I've met that has been able to flip. He's in the TP family. He was telling this testimony. $50 to $1,000. That no more. It's not about whether the person is profitable or not. So now you want to scale up. You want to make more money. But over here, watch this. Success during this stage is not whether you know how to trade or not. Success during this stage is growing account size without breaking discipline. Not your trading, account size. Because there is a difference between managing $1,000 and managing $10,000. Because $1,000 maybe you can risk $100, but $10,000 can you risk $500 to $1,000 per trade? Maybe the answer is no. Or per week or per month. Maybe the answer is no. So now it's no more about whether you know how to trade or not. It's that can you grow this account size? Because now you know you can trade, but you want to scale up. So the focus here during this stage of the profitability or success definition of stage three, you need to focus on risk tolerance. Risk tolerance. Risk tolerance. Then lot sizes, incremental stages. If you have been using 0.01, at some point during this stage, you need to start using 0.10. At some point, you need to start using 0.30. There is a day coming in my career, I want to be able to use thousands of lots. I want to trade thousands of lots. Does that make sense? I mean, you have to be able to understand that everybody needs to scale up. So it's no more whether you can make $100,000. It's no more whether if you can make $50,000. It's no more whether if you can $8,000. You are trying to check your risk tolerance and see if you can increase lot sizes. It's very important that you understand this. So there are stages of profitability. So the guy who just started and he wants to skip the growth and the multiplication and go all the way to the legacy profitability, you are losing. So number one, you need to know where you are. Now, during the stage number 3, which is multiplication profitability, the dangers over there is ego, greed, and lifestyle pressure. Now, $5 is no more your problem. Now, when traders are talking, you can talk too. Oh, I made 50 pips. Oh man, I caught 100 yesterday. Oh yeah, man. I break even yesterday, but still I made $50,000. Oh yeah, well, 2 days. So now it's no ego. He's talking now. All right, ego is talking. So you also want to show off a little bit. So, but then you need to fight ego. You need to fight the greed. You need to fight lifestyle pressure. All right, somebody bought a Lamborghini yesterday, and so what? Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Define your success. If not, Instagram will define it for you. Define your success. If not, TikTok will define it for you. Are you with me? So stage number 3 is what we call multiplication profitability. Stage number 4 is what we call the legacy profitability. It is the stage where you become matured. Can I sustain this and make it bigger than me? During this stage, what you need to focus on is systems, wealth management, and purpose. During this stage, you are no more just only trading. During this stage, some of the money you make from trading, you also have to invest it somewhere else to manage wealth. To manage wealth. So that even when you are not trading, money is working for you so that you can still keep on having the peace of mind to make the right decisions in the market. So these are the 4 stages psychologically I want you to write down now. So what are we talking about today? A profitable trader. Before we started, what did I tell you? That whether you like it or not, there are 3 teachers you're going to meet in destiny. Pain as a teacher. Is that true? And I told you time as a teacher. And I said we have reflection, which is your will, as a teacher. Then I started defining what a profitable trader looks like. Then I gave you the misconceptions so that we can rewire the understanding. And now I've given you the stages you are going to go through in order for you to define what success and profitability means in trading. If you guys are following, drop the number 1s in the chat. Are you with me? Now, I want to show you the last part of this masterclass is where I want to talk about profitability. Integrating a profitable system. In other words, the integration, the practical understanding of this masterclass. I'm going to give you 5 structures that you need to understand if you want to become a profitable trader. 5 structures. Please write it down. 5 structures. Let's talk about that now. 5 structures. 5 structures. 5 structures. Now, you know, in anatomy, we call something the human anatomy, and we have different systems, different structures of your body. We have the digestive system, you have the skeletal system, you have the the neural system. You have so many systems. And every one of these systems, even though they operate on their own, but they still connect to the whole entire body to function. Meaning if this nail, God forbid, get hurt, this nail, even though it's not here, my hair will feel it. Are you with me? There is a level of pain that you could tell your whole body is weak, even though it's just the nail, right? So that is the same way I want you to see the system I'm about to give it to you here. It's not a system that you choose one. So many people right now will say, I want to be a profitable trader, and all they want is, how can I be able to multiply my $1,000 or $10,000 and make 100,000? That is not how you become profitable. A profitable trader is somebody who understands what I'm about to tell them. Look, I want you to see it in this context. The reason why somebody is able to be a soldier is because that individual is already dead. Oh, Cliff, that is too harsh. It is true. Anybody who decides to go to the battlefield to fight for a civilian or their nation has already made a decision to die. There is a saying in the Bible that if you want to save your life, you will lose it. And if you want to lose your life because of Jesus, you will gain it. Watch this. Every single thing in life, something must exist for something to be able to come out. So there is to be able to for something to exist, it has to come out of something. Are you with me? So in order for something to be cold, it has to come out of something that was not cold. In order for something to be hot, it means it came out of something that was not hot. There is a name for it. It's either cold or warm or hot. In order for somebody to win, it has to come out of something. What is that? In this world, as far as principles is concerned, things give birth to things. So if you put a seed in the ground, the seed dies because life must come out of death. It's a law. It's a law. So life does not come out of itself. Life comes out of death. So this should even give a Christian here the understanding of when we say Jesus died and rose and gave life. So life comes out of death. So when you put a seed in the ground, it comes out of death. Wings does not come out of wings. Wings comes out of L's. It comes out of L's. And L's also comes out of W's. So in life, it's an effect game, opposite poles. So if you are afraid of losses, then you are intentionally rejecting the possibility of you ever experiencing wins. This is not about motivation. It is the truth. That is why we call something risk to reward ratio. It's not just a sentence you say because you're a trader. It actually means something psychologically. It means you have accepted as a trader on the battlefield that in order for me to make 10 grand, there is an amount of money I must be willing to let it die. And as it dies, there is a possibility of this coming out. Are you with me? So that is what we call risk to reward ratio. It means that according to the common sense, if my risk to reward ratio is 1:10, then I am ready to lose 3 times in a row. And my 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th straight has the ability to bring me back to profit. So that thinking alone should save you from being anxious about what if I lose. So the 5 systems coming together to form a profitable trader. Number 1 is the mind. See, when we say a profitable mind, it doesn't mean that a mind that is profitable. No, it means the mind has to host profitability. Are you with me? It's like saying that the chair or the throne of a king. It doesn't mean that that king is the throne. It is a throne that belongs to kings. So that means if you're not a king, you can't sit on that throne. So profitability is a state of mind, and it has to be hosted. So your mind, in order for us to say your mind is ready to be a profitable mind, it has to be able to be disciplined. What is discipline? Staying loyal to the decisions you made. Resilience and meaning making. So there are 5 things that needs to come together to form a profitable trader. Number 1, the mind. Number 2, skill. Number 3, system. Number 4, money. Number 5, success. Did you hear what I just said? There are 5 things that forms to make you a profitable trader. Number 1, your mind. Number 2, your skill. Number 3, the system. Your routines, your journaling, your structure, the things that doesn't distract you. The system. Number 4, money. L'argent, dingy. Money is the 4th. So if all you want to be called a profitable trader is money, you have already lost. Because money is not the only thing that defines profitability. It's a whole entire system coming together, like the digestive system. There are people who will sometimes say, my stomach is paining me. How did you know it's your stomach? Yes, some part of your digestive system is hurting, but how did you know it's your stomach? Your stomach is not the only thing in your digestive system area. This is how people think sometimes when they think about profitability. They say, I'm not profitable. You ask them why. It's because I am hitting stop losses. Chief, that is too vague. Your mind, your skill, the system, the money, and success. And success. But Cliff, isn't success all of these? No. Success is not what happens to you. Success is what you define when you are looking for the things you are trying to achieve in life and in everything. You need to define it. It has to be a progressive realization. You need to realize what you are trying to achieve. So anything you don't define, we can't call it success. Right now, if let's say I don't know what I call a successful masterclass, I will never be able to be fulfilled, because I can come here and maybe only 2 people will show up. Well, God forbid, I can come here and maybe thousands of people will show up. But if I don't define what the TP Masterclass success looks like, I will never be fulfilled. So success is part of the system. Success is not the system. Success is part of it. So mind, skill, system, money, then success. What do you do with the mind? You have to restructure things. So you hit a stop loss. Don't call it a loss. Call it a lesson. And learn from it by your will. You want to learn the skill? Learn it. Don't remove some from it. Edge, you are learning. Psychology, you are learning. Habits, you are learning. How to analyze data, you are learning. Are you with me? Then what do you do with a system? You build them. The routine, follow it. Journaling, write down. You can use audio journaling. You can write them in your book, but write them down. Put the structures in place. Build your system. Cut down every distractions away. You are a trader. You are a performer. If you need to sleep 5 minutes, 15 minutes meditation of thinking and just being there, do it. 2 hours siesta before you trade, do it. But they are all part of your trading. If you want to eat 2 bananas, eat it. If you need to cancel kenke from your morning routine as a trader, do it. Eat the banku later. The eba, eat it later. It's part of your system. But Cliff, what is wrong with eating eba before you trade? Well, that is why you think that is a POI. That is why you think that is a double bottom. Because the EBA is blowing the IQ. Are you with me? No jokes. EBA is good. I'm basically just saying that structure your life well so that you know that you are a trader. You are a decision maker. So there must be systems and structures in place for you to make the right decision. So number 1, your mind. It has to be cleared. It has to be full of clarity. Number 2, the skill. Discipline yourself to learn it. The strategy, the risk management, the edge, learn them. Then the system, your routines, your journaling, your structure, have them. Then the money, withdraw them. Even if it's $5 and your broker will allow you, some of them will not allow unless $10. But those that will allow you for $10, withdraw something. Buy the bread, buy the milk before the Lamborghini, buy the bread before the mansion. Are you with me? Practice withdrawal. Taste money as a trader. Get something out. Then the last one is success. Define it. Define your success per day. Define your success per week. Define your success per moment. Define your success per year. If you don't define your success and you allow life to define it for you, you will never feel successful. Did you hear what I just said? If you don't define your success, if you don't define the success, and you allow life to define it for you, you will never feel successful. Do you know why I said feel? Because many people say they want certain things. They are lying. It's not the thing they want. They want what the emotions of what the thing will give them. So they will say, I want to be a trader. They don't really want to be a trader. They want what trading can give. So when they go through the experience of what trading does to men, they run away. So they never wanted to be traders. But you said you want to be a profitable trader. I'm giving you the recipe. Number 1, your mind. Number 2, the skill. Number 3, the system. Number 4, the money. Withdraw. Number 5, success. Define it. Now let's go back and let's wrap something up now. So if somebody comes to me today and they say, Cliff, I want to be a profitable trader, the first thing I will do for them is to redefine what profitability means. First thing. So right now, let's do something. You have come to me and you say you want to be a profitable trader. You said, Cliff, I want to be a profitable trader. Or somebody comes to you and they said, you have been following TP family. You guys, you are always studying rewiring and structured information. How can I become a profitable trader? The first thing I want you to do for the person is to redefine what profitability means. Are you with me? Redefine it. So profitability, what did I say? Is when your mind, your skills, your habits, and your account work together. Are you guys with me? Are you guys with me? It's very important that you understand this. I hope you are learning. I hope you guys are learning. It is very important. So when somebody comes to you, I was just trying to check if you guys are learning. If somebody comes to you and they say, Cliff, please, I want to be a profitable trader. If somebody comes to you and say, John, I want to be a profitable trader, say, sit down. Before you become a profitable trader, let's redefine what profitability means. Profitability is not just money. Money is part of being profitable, but it is when your mind, your skills, your habit, and your account, they work together to create progress and sustainability. The first thing you need to do for the person is to break the misconception that profitability is equal to never losing. Break that misconception first. And then you tell them to define the success they are looking for per day, per week, per month, per season. Let them define it. Let them write it down. After you have given them the clarity of being profitable, the next thing is you need to give them a blueprint. They need to understand their mind, the container, the skill, the framework. The skill is the framework. They need to understand the system. System, in one word, simply means habit. The thing that makes you behave in a certain way. And then you need to let them understand money, how to handle money. In fact, I have something here that it is going to help a lot of people. Let me see if I can share this. I just realized something right now back then. I think we are going to give, some people have not read this book before, but it's a simple book. And I'm going to share my screen from here and I'm going to let you guys have it. Some people have read this book before, but I want to bring it again. I want to share something. So if you guys have never read this before, then I highly recommend that you guys will have it. It's called The First Steps to Financial Freedom. A beginner. This is not my book that I'm about to release now. This is an old book, old book we gave to the community for free. If you want this, just we will share it. It's a book that was talking about the first steps to financial freedom. All right, it's a book we wrote. You will be able to learn about understanding personal finance, money, and so on and so forth. So the person needs to understand what money actually really means. Are you guys with me? Very, very important that you understand this. I am not selling this book. This book is free. The community, you can have it. So if there's something that you want and you really want to understand money, I think the first topic is Introduction to Personal Finance. Welcome. You know, it will teach you about how to budget, so on and so forth. It even have a crypto breakdown, proper, like, you know, basics. You can have this. Okay. So that is number one. The first thing is the mind. You need to tell the person, we need to rewire your mind. You need to learn the skill. You need to understand your system. You need to understand money, and you need to define success. So somebody has come to you. They said they want to be traders. Those are the first thing that you need to do. Then after you have been able to give them the blueprint of what they need to learn, you need to warn them they are going to meet 3 teachers: pain, time, and they have to be serious and meet the teacher called the teacher of reflection. What are you doing? You are making somebody become profitable. How do you do that? You have to redefine what that means. Number 2, give them the blueprint. Number 3, warn them about the 3 teachers and tell them to be ready to learn from them. Number 4, you give them practical strategy. When to withdraw. You will tell them start with small accounts. Define each account. If you have $1,000, don't put it all in the account. Name one groceries. Name one debt. Name one this. Are you with me? Very important. Then the challenge. Give them challenge. This week, do this. Next week, do that. So this is how you can follow the structure to become a profitable trader. Ladies and gentlemen, look, there are many things we don't understand. You don't become a profitable trader because your account grows overnight. You become a profitable trader the day you build profitable mind. Are you with me? I don't want to take too much of you guys your time. I think today we have taken a lot of time. So during the course of the week, I'll be putting some information out that will help you a lot practically. But with that all being said, thank you so much for coming today. God bless you all. We have taken a lot of time. That's why I'm rushing today right now. But then God bless you all for staying throughout this masterclass. Go back and watch this video again. You will think you have the information. Go back and watch it again. We will try our best to make sure that, you know, we will normally make sure that we are in the range of time so that you guys can get, but you know, there is more to teach. So we are sorry sometimes we stretch you guys a little bit more like this. But if you learn something, just drop some number 1s in the chat. Let me know that you learned something. So remember, what did I say? You don't become a profitable trader because your account grows overnight. If you want to become a profitable trader, you have to build a profitable mind to hold your profitability. Then the products, the fruits will follow. This is not a motivational masterclass. Go back, watch it again, take note, and understand the blueprint. Number 1, the mind. Number 2, the skill. Number 3, the system. Number 4, money. And number 5, success. These are the 5 components that needs to come together to create a profitable trader. Already we have been talking about the mind. The next thing that we will talk about this coming few weeks, I have a topic called the illusion of competence. Illusion of competence. I don't know when I will teach it, but it's going to explain something to you why you keep on doing something that you think you should be successful, but you are not. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope somebody learned something from today's masterclass. If you did, make sure at the end of the day, share this to somebody, and then make sure that you come back and you watch it again, and then make sure that you take note. Also, the newsletter is ready. Let me give this quick announcement that we wrap up. The newsletter is ready. The purpose of the newsletter we are launching is to give you guys practical frameworks of how to apply the master classes you are learning. This coming week, I don't know, I will check in with the team, but if it is ready, we will start dishing them out. So as I said, next week, God willing, we have an announcement for all those who are in Ghana, who are part of the TP family members. We have a surprise for the TP family members in Ghana. And so if you are a TP family member in Ghana, be ready for next week, God willing, announcement. You are going to love it. And that is a way of we saying thank you to all the TP family members, specifically in Ghana. And I hope you guys will love the announcement. With that all being said, God bless you all. Have an amazing day or evening and take care.
Trading is a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. 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 Trading